Warning. The following TTRPG stream is intended for mature audiences and may contain material that is not suitable for all viewers. Viewers who may be sensitive to graphic content should proceed to the video description below, where timestamps of such events are provided to the best of our ability. Viewer discretion is advised. Thank you. Hello, my fellow folk from the past, present, and future. Welcome to the 15th episode of Season of War, the first campaign for Lore Weavers TTRPG. I am Jack the GM, and we're going to go ahead and move into just some introductions here for the rest of the crew. Starting off with Autumn, who plays Akash.
Hi, I'm Akash. I'm allergic to broccoli. That's canon now.
There we go. Moving it over to Tables.
Hi, I play Alphadon, and I do not have any known allergies.
Okay. And last but not least today, as we're a little short-handed, bringing us over to Cal.
Hello, I'm Callum, and I will be playing Yonnan McPherson, gnomish rogue extraordinaire. And the only thing he's allergic to is...
Ale.
Crud, I thought I had something there.
Jay.
Memorization.
Remembering people's names. Yes, that.
But without further ado, we'll get into things here.
Seasons change all the time in the world of Atura. Spring blooms into life. Summer flourishes. Fall's harvests descend into a sleeping winter. And completing the cycle awakens into spring. However, on the continent of Leora, a different season is descending upon its nations. There's a heaviness that you cannot quite place, an unspoken tension weighing on the minds of the people. Soldiers can be seen in training. The clanging of weapons being forged can be heard across the land. Discussions in quiet halls dictate the fates of many. Peace has no place here, for what is approaching is the season of war.
It is 2 p.m. on the 1st of Misafar, 1326 PD. The Plumbers, having just met with Corporal Samantha Wilson, to sway her to the side of the rebellion, only to find out, well, she was already there. Corporal Wilson, spurred by the presentation of Kyron Greyhawk, and by seeing her old friend, Yonnan, left to fulfill her objective. As the party was returning to Shade's End, you find Gax's Union of Adolescent Bombmakers in assembly line fashion as you return. In addition, you also see, as she's making her way out of the back room, a limping Delphina making her way towards you as the elevator stops. And you see Harry and Hardy right by her side, sort of helping her along. My lady, you should not go out like this. Not that you don't look proper, but it's just not the... Please don't, it's dangerous. As you guys all return to Shade's End, this is the scene that is before you.
Yonnan's gonna go up and give her a big hug.
Hey, brother. It's good to see you.
Good to see you back on your feet again.
All right. I was just telling this nice young man here that I'm fine. And there's bound to be injured folks up there that might need my help.
And you don't push yourself too hard now.
Yonnan, please tell her it's dangerous out there. People are looking for her. She shouldn't
Oh
leave
wait,
right
out
now.
there. She's going out. No.
No. Well, you're not the boss of me, brother.
He's concerned for your safety.
She has a point,
There's a matter of operational security. can't afford to lose any more people trying to save you if you get captured again, sister.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh yeah, he played that card. He played that card.
That's the right card to play.
Yep. Persuasion. Oh, 4.
Can I ask a question, Yonnan? Or of Yonnan? Is he doing this to manipulate her, or does he earnestly mean this? Is he doing this as a conscious tactic to manipulate her?
Oh, this is definitely conscious manipulation.
Since you got a 4, is that something could we roll to possibly pick up on? I feel like that's
I would
low
say,
enough.
dude, give me an insight check. Because he played that card, I was going to give him advantage on it, but that's specifically with her, so give me an insight check.
Okay. 14.
14? I'd say Akash would kind of pick up on that, but probably
Mostly just
also
like the
that
hint of his voice or something.
Yonnan doesn't want his sister to go. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, Speed, but I don't think Yonnan wants his sister to go out there because he doesn't want her to get killed.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And well, he knows that she's not concerned for her own safety, so he's gonna make it about other people's safety. And if I get advantage, that's a 19.
Mm-hmm. With Delphino? All right, fine.
I
But
assure
when
you,
I'm better, I'm going out.
we're gonna have to find a way to keep you a bit more low profile, at least till we get the occupiers out of this town. You're a priority target for them. They want you bad.
All right. I actually got really tired trying to walk out here.
Oh, well then, Mr. Hardy, and
He picks her up. He just picks her up and brings her back. Like cradling her like a child. Yeah.
I would have helped, but fine. It's
all right, Yonnan. I got it. Back to the bed, my lady, ma'am. He's not sure what to call her in this circumstance. She goes, "Yes, please. And could I have some of that stew? It smells awfully good." As they head off there.
Yes, we'll get you some right away.
It's at this point where Poppy goes, "Well, I finished another one. How about you?" As you see the street kids, in bomb-making fashion, not big bombs, they're just small little, incendiary devices. A lot of them probably might be duds, because they're made by children.
by children, yes.
But I mean, they're mass-producing these small little,
like firecrackers, basically.
A little bit more than firecrackers, but yeah.
Yeah. Yonan's gonna look over at Poppy with a stern look, point with his finger, and just go, "Hey, you! Double check the link to those wicks. That's not something you want to be messed around with. You get one chance with a bomb."
Right. Okay. Grayson, check your wicks. Zago, you also double check the wicks. And the rest of us will keep with production. You see she's getting almost... It's kind of interesting to see your sister like this because, as you know, she does have some trouble. She had trouble when she was in school. And things like that. But in a... whatever fashion this is, she's able to lock on and manage this task. In a good way. Especially for a little...
She's a leader. Yonan's just gonna walk over to her and muss her hair in front of her friends.
Rather, I'm busy.
I'll leave you to your business. You find little master thief, saboteur, leader.
With that, Akash kind of clears his throat and speaks up. Alphadon, Yonnan, a word, and he kind of nods his head up the stairs to our rooms, or nods her head to
be deeper back. Yeah,
yeah, nods down to that. Yeah,
So I'll give a nod.
Aye.
Right? So you guys make your way up. When you see members of the Shadow Band, you pass there. Some of them are making plans, smaller plans to fuck with the Empire, now having the directive that they're on Team Rebellion now, which is not something a normal Shadow Band would just do. So they're working towards that. You see as they're mustering weapons that they've probably stolen over the years, and all sorts of different things. You see they have collected some guard uniforms as well. These guard uniforms might have holes in them right now and some bloodstains, but that can be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys make your way back towards your rooms. You enter in, you see the two cots in Akash's room, the one that Gak sleeps on and the one that Akash sleeps on, the little water basin that you have. I mean, it's a simple stone room. No windows because you're underground, but
Yeah.
little candle.
Yeah. Akash kind of like, he opens the door and lets everyone in and then closes it behind him, like, ready to talk. And he kind of just a gesture for you to take a seat if you want to. Or however you guys want to position yourselves.
Yonnan will take a seat.
Yeah. Althadon will sit on the cot.
And with that, does anyone want to say anything first or just kind of let Akash go into it?
Akash, is there something on your mind?
Yes.
Yeah, Yonnan. Why did you lie to her like that? Why didn't you just tell her the truth of why you didn't want her to go out there?
Because she wouldn't have listened.
Yet you manipulate your family and don't listen to their own opinions. What tells you that she wouldn't listen to?
Because I don't feel...
She's the type of person who puts others before herself.
Aye, that. So much that. And she's got... I love Delphina, I truly do, but she sometimes has a naive understanding of the danger she puts herself in. She's got a lot of faith in the decency of other folks, and it's served her right for most of her life, but under the circumstances, I don't think it's quite set in just how bad things are in this city.
That's not your place to call. That's her decision. And then I pause for a second before, like, inhaling deeply. About 15 years ago, I wasn't fully in my position of power back in the army. But I was tasked with leading a group to scout out a city. We were told, and I paused for a second. I was told to tell them that we were just scouting to make sure that there was enough resources for us. We were telling the populace that we were just scouting. That's it. Everyone within that city, but everyone who I was told to watch, fully believed that all we were doing was doing a supply inventory. That's it. And he kind of just moves his head back and forth. A week or two later, the military sent reinforcements. Knowing what we told them, lying to them, albeit we didn't know. They slaughtered everyone for the inventory that was there. These people were not prepared. had no inclination of what was happening. I mean, we wouldn't have told them anyway. But lying, deceiving people in this time is a danger all in and of itself.
I think there's. Sorry. Don't want to interrupt, but I think there's a bit of a difference here. He was manipulating her, but she was going to be putting other people in danger by going out, because there's no way he was going to send her alone.
Let me finish, please. It is a different situation. And I'm not telling you to not tell her that it's not the right decision. But you need to tell her what would happen if she gets caught. You need to tell your family what the reality of it out there is. Right now, hiding the truth, letting them be innocent while participating in this cause is putting them in more danger. What would happen if they're caught in a situation that they're outside? You can't protect them and not allow them to know the true weight of what is going on. If you were honest with them, at least they'd have a basis to understand what reality is. Right now, they're living in a false pretense. And he, as I say that, he's not angry. He's concerned, because, and you can see it in like the way he's looking at you, and he's like leaning towards you in like a vulnerable way, where he's just honestly concerned.
You have a point there. She's not
an idiot.
No, she's not. But she's also... She's not like me. She's not like us. She's... If they come for her, and she's alone, she might take some efforts to flee, to run, to try and dissuade them. But she wouldn't raise a hand to protect herself. She wouldn't kill to save her own skin.
How old is she, Yoda?
Oh, she's fully grown. She's an adult. She's old enough to have made decisions of that nature, old enough to know what kind of life she's living, but maybe not.
I think she's like 24, 25.
Okay. Then you need to let her make her own choices. The furthest you can do to protect her is to keep her informed, and to let her know the true weight of what will happen depending on her choices. If she's going to participate in the resistance, if she's going to be a part of this, we can't... It's impractical to waste additional... Not waste, but... Spending so much effort trying to protect someone. In addition, if you want to protect her this much, then send her away. She shouldn't be here. None of them should. You have to... There's no compromise. You either tell them everything or you make them leave.
Don't know how to send them away. I can't. The city is bloody surrounded.
Well, maybe with the reinforcements coming, maybe you can make arrangements. But the way that this is functioning now, I'm concerned that it's not going to end well. Either the result is them being angry at you and possibly... I don't know family matters that well, but it could lead to tensions between you and them, or it can lead to them dying.
The latter would be considerably worse. But you are right, we can't keep her guarded 24 hours a day. Especially now that she's up and about.
All of them at this point. What we're planning and what it seems like is going to be happening from here on out, considering what the parrot told me and whatnot, we're going to have to fully focus on whatever mission we have at hand. I don't think this is a place for children or family right now. But we need to find a way or make a plan before we enact it, before this whole thing fucking blows up, of making sure that they're protected. I
So
think
they
that's
don't
something
end up like your friends. Is that
Yes.
it?
Yeah. I think this is something that we didn't talk about, but it is a concern of mine. Before all of this happens, I think it should be arranged or at least a plan to keep them safe if something happens and we're not able to get back to them.
I did have an arrangement. I did make.
You gotta talk to us about this shit, Yonnan.
It's a lot. There's a lot happening. There's a lot going on. I gave my sister, not Delphina, Becca. I gave her the coin that the lady from the Thieves Guild gave me, the one for the free favor with the rulers of Esbak. And I told her if we didn't come back from the battle with the Avalith, that she was to take the portal to Esbek, go with Poppy and Delphina and the street kids, and leave the city that way.
Did you update her on the plan now?
What
still
is the
have the
plan
coin.
now? Oh,
See
Becca,
as the
when did
doors,
you bloody...
the door is now cracked open. I rolled a very good stealth check for her a while ago. As the door cracks open, she goes, "I still have the coin."
Then now's a good
In a
enough
lot of
time.
ways, me brothers, right? We'll get the kids out.
Okay.
We will. But this is our home.
There's a chance you might not be able to come back to it. You
There's a
gotta be
chance
prepared
about
for
a lot
that.
of things. You could get ran over by a carriage.
You don't think we don't know that, Akash?
I don't
Delphina
know
got
if you've seen
tortured.
it.
She's still here.
Who's still here?
Delphina, even after she got tortured, she's still here.
Well, we might have to
As much as I wish
say a
she
few
would get
words.
And,
That
and
might
I'm not...
require
Oh, sorry.
further conversations with her. Akash, I am keenly aware of how morally suspect it is to manipulate my own sister, and I am keenly aware she may be angry at me till the day she dies, which I hope is a long time away, but frankly, I'm prepared to say just about anything to get her to leave this town, and that might... The most convincing way is likely going to be to tell her she's of more help to other people elsewhere.
You can do that by telling her the truth.
But that isn't
By
a
telling
way.
her how horrible the world is, what the Empire is doing in other cities,
She
the
is
people that are dying.
aware of that. She was tortured.
Of what's happening here.
No.
What about the labs? What about the people that are getting experimented on and turning into abominations?
We have to save our home first. Akash, I appreciate what you've done for us here. But with respect, don't tell us how to run our family.
Then I'm going to be very honest with this. The moment I think, Yonnan, that you and your family cause any sort of what's the word I'm thinking of? Starts with a C. Not
Conflagration.
conflict. No,
Casualty?
Confusion?
no, like the word like when you fuck something up.
Calamity.
Mm. If your family, you and your family, and how your family
Cataclysm.
operates, with how stubborn and just how unbending to compromise in any sort of way. If you get in the way of me protecting who I need to protect, I'm leaving. I'm not staying here with a liar. I'm not staying here with dishonesty. I've tried to speak with you multiple times on this. I've tried to share my concerns. Every time I've tried to do that, I'm met with, I don't understand. I'm not in the same position. You don't have family, Akash. You don't have loved ones. The fuck do you guys know? You've never really asked much. Now, most of the times is when you've yelled back at me, where you've wanted an explanation of my actions. And he's kind of getting a little emotional at this point. Just not his eye. If you looked into his eyes, they're kind of glassy. Like he's kind of wanting to cry. Like his eyes are getting a little watery.
Akash, I appreciate you got people that you love. And I want you to know that we're going to help get them back, as we've been helping. We're doing things a bit our way at times. This sanctuary that we have here, this is through our relationship with El Capitan, through our relationship. Now, do we make the right decisions all the times? Absolutely not. We love our family. And if you're as close to us as I think you are, well, you're family to us too.
I paused for a second. I'm going to start referring to like Akash as I, if that's okay. I think that'll help make things a little smoother.
Yeah.
Sure.
I pause for a moment and look at her. It's not what I'm fucking bloody talking about.
I'm talking about that we're in this together.
Is there something that you want to talk about then?
He's at this point, my shoulders kind of like tense up, like I'm getting frustrated with like emotion.
You're right,
okay.
Akash.
This entire adventure, this entire time with you all, we have predominantly done what you've wanted to do, Yonnan. Sure, fuck off. Whatever that talk in Seaworld, I don't care anymore. We've done what you've wanted. Your directive. You have led most of our time, whether it's talking to people who we talk to. Alphadon, you stay so passive behind that. You don't speak up that often. You just kind of go with the flow with everything, and then Sushi is a ball of chaos.
That she is.
No one ever takes time to consider what my thoughts. Everyone just thinks of me as this muscle-bound idiot who, when they need something, they come and ask me. Oh, you want some inspiration? Sure, here. I will give you a little bit of a luck boost.
Akash,
Fuck off!
I have never considered you to be a tool or object or...
But have you ever asked to get to know me? Have you ever asked, oh, what are you... No! You never asked, like, what my childhood was like, what my parents were like. No! The only times anyone has wanted to know what my past came through was either if something came up from it, whether it's an enemy or someone who hates me, and God forbid, there's a lot of people who hate me. But not one has anyone necessarily wanted to get to know me. There have been those superficial conversations, but the way that you both talk to each other, the way you talk with Sushi, you both share moments of kindredship, of being able to express your passes with pasts with each other and to trust in each other. All I am is told what to do.
I'm sorry that you felt isolated like that, but I thought you were just being, what's it called? Private with your past and feelings. Just...
Does it even matter? Anytime I've tried to even express, like even now, I'm just straight up told that my experience is either null and void to what is happening or to stay the fuck out of family business.
I was not saying that it was null and void. Let me just clarify there. I was saying that the situation was different. He was not lying to his sister. He was manipulating his sister by pointing out something that would cause her to make a decision that he would prefer than what she was going towards.
Yeah, and you know who else does that? The fucking Empire. I'm not saying that you're like that, Yonnan. I'm just saying for one fucking goddamn minute, take what I say with some weight. I have seen too many people die by my hands or not, or stupid fucking decisions like that. I just want to see everyone safe. And don't give me, oh, just stay out of my family. No. It's about time I speak up, especially if we're going to be in active combat. That's the one area I can be sure that I know a fuck a ton about. I may not be book smart or can fucking do spells that well, but this is one thing I have experience in, and I would love to be respected about it. We're going to be trying to save someone that I dearly love, and I know you love your family. So we should work together on this stuff. I'm tired of secrets. I'm tired of fucking feeling like I am just a fucking muscle-bound guardian for this fucking group. I do have a brain, I do have purpose, and I fucking know what I'm talking about.
Yonnan at this point looks... He's got sort of tears in his eyes. And he's looking a bit pissed.
I'm crying too, like that angry, tears.
Are you quite done? Are you quite done?
How do you say that?
I say it with my mouth.
No. I'm especially asking, are you saying it kind of with, a hint of, are you done? Sarcasm of, are you done speaking already? Or just, normal speak? Or, is there, an edge to it?
There is a definite edge to it.
Why?
I'm gonna give you a bit of leeway on this, Akash, because I hope at least some of this anger is directed not at us, not at the people who are prepared to risk their lives to save the man who you're so close to, and most of it is directed at the people who hurt you and forced you to hurt them, and the people you can't yell at right now. Now, I am sorry that I didn't give you a shoulder to cry on about all the nightmarish things you've been through in your life. I thought I was being respectful, giving you your space, not crying into your past, because the truth is, I don't care what kind of dirty business you were in before we met. But you still care. You clearly care a lot. And if you want to share that with us, if you want us to help you carry that, well, we're here. But you saying you get no respect, you saying I don't bloody listen. Of course I bloody listen. You don't think I'm not taking down in my head every word that comes out of your mouth? You don't think I hear every criticism of your plans? And you know what? You know what I'm thinking when you're telling me that my plans are gonna get people hurt? I'm thankful. I'm sorry I didn't say this before, but I'm bloody thankful. Because I'm not perfect. And I'm not as smart as I act like I am. And if I didn't have someone watching my back, someone with more experience in war and such matters, I probably would have gotten us into some trouble. Just now, just today, I tried to push us into a suggestion that I thought would help. And you told me that the way I would have gone about it would have got someone killed. And I said, fine, we're going with Akash's plan. We're going with your way of doing it because you know things that I don't. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that out loud enough. People tell me I do plenty of talking, but I'm clearly not saying the right things. You do matter. Your words do matter.
What you just said there, and I'm smiling, kind of like angry at this point in my voice. There's a lot to unpack there. Before I continue, am I derailing this session too much? I hope I'm not.
No.
This kind of just came out of role playing, and I'm kind of just going with it at this point.
No, I'm digging it.
No
Are you okay with it?
What's eating it? Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, if it becomes too long or too much, just let me know, and we can like just fast forward. I'm sorry. Who gives you the fucking right to think that this emotion that I'm feeling is because some big bad man may have inappropriately done something to me at night or ordered me to do something? What gives you the right to think that I'm upset because you didn't play therapist to my feelings and listen to it? You're doing it right now. All you're doing is minimalizing myself and my words to only be about myself being damaged and not of the actual problems that I'm saying. And this is it. Yonnan, we have only done what you've wanted to primarily. I'm not saying that we need to do what I do. I'm not saying we need to do what you do. But you have made the decisions. If we offer an option, it's ultimately out how do you want to take it? Alphadon, you don't speak up. You need to honestly speak your opinion more. You're an intelligent person, and yet you're so passive. You need to speak up more.
Well,
Sushi's more outgoing than you at this point. And but we don't communicate. I'm angry.
You're angry and I'm confused. What is it that you want? We
need to act as a squad at this point. A group. A united group of people if we're going into battle. I'm tired. No, just do this, Alphadon. Hey, Alphadon, you can do this for me, right? No. Okay, Sushi. We know you don't understand this, but we're gonna tell you to do this in a way so that you'll do what we want. You know, I'm not that stupid. I know that that's what you do with her. No, I hear what you're saying, but none of us, and when Gax isn't here, it's at this point, Alphadon, you need to actually voice up. You have wants and desires, man. Speak up more. Yonnan, You're stubborn as fuck, and it's getting worse. Be open more to people and what they're saying. It's fucking frustrating. It's like talking to a fucking group of a brick wall, basically. And anytime I feel like I have a valid opinion, it's nope, you're not family, you don't understand.
That's only when you have an opinion about me sisters. Akash, I appreciate you, but I do feel like this anger might be misdirected a bit.
At this point, he shuts the door. And
She's
like
came in. I mean,
oh, okay.
yeah. She.
Then at
peeked
this
at
point,
first,
shut up! Yes.
Akash, that was rude.
I don't care right now. Yonnan. This isn't about family. I'm not talking about your goddamn family and your infinite number of siblings at this point. I'm talking about us, the plumbers, and what we have to do. Regardless of who we're saving, what we're doing from here on out. We all need to have an equal footing at this table. You need to explain what you're thinking and why you're thinking it so we all understand. And Alphadon, you need to actually tell us and give us input because your knowledge is so fucking vast. You need to speak more. You need to speak less. Yonnan. We need to be unified and on the same page completely. Because from here on out, it's not going to get any easier.
Of that I can agree. I have been going with the flow. Sometimes I distance myself and I try to look at the big picture, but yes, I'll try to be more active in all of our discussions. It's something I need to get more used to. I spent 9 years not being able to talk, and you'd think that would mean I'd have a bunch of things to say, but it's kind of get rusty. You forget how to express yourself. Sorry if that's irritating you.
It's not. I just want to make sure you guys survive and not just be told, oh, it's fine, you just don't get it, or we have it under control. No. We is all of us. Not Yonnan and his family, not me and Seraphin, not you and Sushi. We is us. And he points to you and the both of you.
Okay, well,
If you have a plan, talk it out with all of us. I'm still sure Gax is in the dark about a lot of things. We're trying, but he needs to know too. So does Sushi.
We're bringing him up to speed. We should do better with that. Bringing him up to speed. I
am no master strategist. This is new to me. But a concern that I have is actually if we're bringing things to the table, is my father. He's on his way here, and he left. He went AWOL on the Eagles March army. So
And he brought several of his most loyal troops with him, if I recall.
Yes, so they're all in danger of execution if they were to, from standard military. You know more about it than I do, but...
Are they coming to help us?
Yes, they're coming to help us. They're coming in this direction. So
Huh?
I'm glad that he's coming, but I'm also worried for him and for his men. It's like they've risked their lives and their careers to come here and save us or assist us.
You have people coming too, Yonnan, right? Or was that Gax?
No, that was Gax. We've got people coming.
Then we gotta figure out what... That's a lot of moving pieces.
Aye, it is.
That's an army.
What do you want them to do then, Alhadon? How do they fight?
Well, they're actually, I believe they're primarily mist or frostwalkers, so very agile, special forces, I would say.
Be useful.
Aye.
Yes, could be very useful in this so you get here in time for the confrontation with the Empire's forces here in Seawards Port. But should I petition Mokugar for a pardon for them? I'm worried about the after effects of this as well.
We got to get them through this next battle, but if they survive, and I hope they do, I do have some thoughts on that regard. You want me to... I am sorry if it seems like I'm springing ideas at the helm.
Nope.
Sometimes my brain moves so...
Throw them out, and we can evaluate them.
Yeah.
Right, sorry. My brain just moves so bloody fast. Sometimes I forget that everyone else just can't... What was that?
Becca rolls her eyes when you say your brain moves so fast.
I sort of flick her on the side of her head. Sometimes I forget that everyone else, you can't just keep up. I got to explain myself. Right, so I'm thinking, Alphadon, you've got a pretty good relationship with Mokugar, who's the king.
I did have a pretty good relationship, but that was years ago.
I mean, presumably if hasn't been significant changes, I mean, I'm sure he'd be pleased to see you're still alive.
Yes.
Now, the nice thing about kings, which is also the bad thing about kings, is they get to decide when the exceptions of the rules are.
Yes. So he would probably be the person to approach about getting a pardon or the like.
Which is going to be difficult because it's wartime. People can't be allowed to just up and leave. That would hurt morale. So he'd need to have some kind of reason to pardon them. Some way he could save face with his own people.
Yeah.
Yes, we've got to make them into war heroes, is what you're saying.
Aye, that is precisely what I'm saying.
What were they originally? Oh.
No, that's a good question. What were they...
Like originally, like fighting for? Like what was their purpose for being on the battlefield originally? What could take precedence on it?
I believe they were stationed out of
the pass. They were probably dealing with the battle for Shady Pass.
Yes.
I'd imagine.
Yes,
that's where all the action's been. But
yes, I believe they were in Everguard, but they would have been at the pass, yeah.
Battle for the Rotten Pass.
Rotten Pass, yes.
Well, Everguard is going to be under siege soon, so after this battle, maybe we can find some way of, if the rest of us are interested in pursuing that option, and I want to hear your input on this, Akash, but if after Seawards Port is safe, and we've got no other pressing matters, it might be worth our time to go and see if we can help your father find some way to lift or aid in the naval siege of Everguard. If we could create a situation where he was the one seen as responsible for breaking the siege, that might be enough for a royal pardon.
Or at the very least,
clemency.
Clemency. a large contribution to the. Doesn't have to be the instigator or the leader in it, but at least a major.
Yeah, he
Factor.
might be able to commute the sentence to something less than death, at the very least.
But yeah, that's something to worry about later. Just something that's been on my mind.
No, that's a good thing you brought this to us. That's a good point and a good idea.
Been eating at me all day, but yes, that's something that I should have discussed with you as soon as I heard about it. But again,
Things are happening fast, and there's just a lot of pieces on the board.
yes, we went into the talked to the guard instead. But
Akash, what are your thoughts?
It depends on when they arrive, but I don't think it's too far from reason to possibly say. Oh, go on.
I should mention also that I talked with what's his name, the wizard archmage.
It's fine, I'm terrible with names as well.
Usadir Belgrith?
Yes, I talked with Archmage Belgrith, and he said he's sending some wizards to actually aid my father in getting here sooner.
Does he say?
So the wizards themselves are sanctioned by the military, but my father's group, the desertion, was not. So it's sort of like if he had waited half a day, he might have just gotten an order to go down, but he did it preemptively. So
How friendly are you with the person who ordered the mages to help your father?
he was a mentor of mine, actually. He I believe he actually taught me called color sphere, chromatic orb.
Can you ask him to maybe, if it comes to it in an official statement, maybe say he told your father preemptively so that they could get a head on?
I already asked him, and it sounded like that was not going to be possible because it was already announced before. But at the very least, there will be also some mages on their way as well. So
Could we say that whatever is impacting here might potentially affect Evergard, or might potentially,
it might
maybe we're stopping them from going there?
prevent some. Well, again, these wizards are capable of some major space magic, so I wouldn't say it's a very big delay to coming to Evergard's help, but it could cause some delay, yes. But yes, so that's two groups that are coming here that could help in the
Well, we
upcoming
don't
battle.
know if the mages are going to be able to stay. That
Yeah,
part
we do
was
not
a
know
little
that.
less clear.
That is true.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
The mages were. He was going to get mages to assist them in getting here quicker, because as of right now, they would not get here in time.
yes.
The mages will not be staying. They probably won't even get them all the way here. They'll get them close, and then they'll have to sneak into the city.
Okay. Yes,
Right, so we should have a talk with El Capitan about getting them into the city.
Yeah. Potentially maybe disguising them as civilians
aren't
or a
we going
trade
to
route.
be doing the thing outside of the city, or has that been not decided yet?
That's not been
This
The whole
decided.
thing has been you guys were going to go outside of the city.
Yeah, that will be outside.
That is outside.
So
But,
we could meet them there. Is what I mean. Unless we plan to use them elsewhere in the distraction.
They might
The
not
timing
need that.
of that would be very.
Lucky.
There would have to be a lot to go right for the timing.
We'd have
of
to
that
meet them
work.
outside before the battle. You know. if we plan
That-
to communicate with them on strategy.
Is your father a keen man for strategy?
Not exactly. He's no general, but he can lead a group of men. Does that make sense?
Aye. He's good at executing, not a big picture man. Am I getting in the right?
Yes, he's small skirmishes and the like. I think is what he mostly was in charge of. Unless it was in a larger battlefield, in which case he would have been under someone else.
Well, at the very least, his experience might lend some insight.
Perhaps.
Worst case scenario, maybe we can talk to the guy, the person who.
Mokugar?
Why not? We've talked to other important figures of power.
Wait.
Explain our
Wait.
purpose.
Didn't Sushi say she'd met Mokugar?
She has, yes.
To be honest, I kind of tune a lot of what she says out because I don't know what she's saying.
Weren't you just complaining about the rest of us doing that?
I try to listen. I try to understand, man. But sometimes what comes out of her mouth, I'm like, did you insult me? Or are you giving me a solution?
I'm just glad that I'm not the only one that struggles with this.
Oh, sister, I've been this whole past month. Did I mention that she poisoned me the night we first met?
9 times.
No, but I'm not surprised. She brought
We
an
thought it was a
elephant.
date. We were the first two that showed up. She asked me if this was supposed to be a date, which...
Oh no, brother.
3, I was there. You just didn't realize I was there.
Right. You kept... I asked you if you were in the barrel, and you said... No? Question mark?
In the barrel?
He was a barrel.
What?
Long story, we can tell you if we live.
You know what? Don't.
We need to have a slideshow for people or a pamphlet.
The table's made that drawing of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just makes a
Insert
pamphlet.
drawing of the
So-
first meeting here.
Yeah, Sushi can get some crayons, get everyone some slides. We'll have everyone equally confused. Right. So, this is a useful asset. This group of soldiers, and if they arrive in time to help us with the duel with facing Akrahn Larkin, we can use them there. With that, if they don't, well, we'll either be dead or taking on this entire division of the army. In the former case, they won't be needed. In the latter case, they likely very well be needed. So there's that.
So I say we plan for both.
I have
That sounds good to me.
And then we need to ask Gax what's going on with his group. Where is he anyway?
I think he was I think I saw him taking a nap.
He was right outside. You didn't see him with all the kids making the explosives.
Oh, he's committing war crimes. Okay. Potential.
Well, we want to invite him into the group, make him a true part of the Plumbers. He's got to catch up with us. We've committed so many war crimes already.
What did you do, Alphadon?
What did I do?
What war crimes did you commit?
No, that's a great question.
I don't know if well.
Are you saying that just because he's an orc?
No. We've all had some looks directly at Yonnan. We've all had some things that we've done in our past.
More recent past, I was thinking my stuff at the prison was a bit of a legal grey area, if such things actually matter.
I mean,
You
there
know-
was the breaking into that hemomancer's or hemolab.
Oh, come on, Alpidon. You've had to do something. And he's kind of smiling, kind
I
of just
mean,
like...
we killed that wizard before he could even get a spell off. That was breaking a lot of codes of wizard tools for sure.
Before you were a barrel.
Did you
Pre-barreling.
ever do anything shady with when you were working for Mr. Silvar? Or was that...
Why do you think he turned me into a mimic?
Because you wouldn't.
Because I found out something I shouldn't, and
What specifically did you find out that was what set that off?
I wasn't really comfortable with sacrificing sentience for rituals to summon shadow dragons and like.
Wait. I think you might need to unpack that just a little bit. Alpha Fun.
Was that correct, Jack? There, or
Definitely was one of the things.
Well, that's a drop right now that we totally need to worry about right now, but we can't, but we should.
He was
Oi,
sacrificing certain sentient species in weird wizardry, but also not wizardry, rituals to summon dark creatures. He would sacrifice changelings a lot to summon different creatures of different types.
Is that how the Aboleth came here?
Well, we know he summoned the Aboleth, so presumably.
We gotta unpack that after.
That and exploring with uses of the gate spell, too.
yeah, he was doing some.
He's like trying to get like
Portals
demon
to...
pets and things and shit
Yeah.
that he could like put in little areas and use however he wanted. Yeah. But
So
yeah,
you were turned into a barrel because you had a good moral compass. Yeah, you don't belong as a plumber, Alpidon.
It wasn't.
Oh come on! He came
He
along
just
laughed.
for- I think there's
If I had
plenty of
a-
time to get us down to
If I had a good enough
our
moral
level.
compass, I never would have signed up with Silvar as an apprentice.
I still think we
There
can
was
get you
there
down to
just
my
this point,
level.
a line that I crossed, that he crossed, and I just couldn't go past.
We can get him down to my level. We just have to take off about 4 or 5 feet.
Are you taller than Sushi, Yonnan?
Barely.
Okay,
No,
I just wanted to...
actually, I think she might actually be like an inch. It's very close. Yonnan
We need the yardstick.
Yonan's got
Yonnan is 3'5".
Yonan's got the 3-inch pumps.
Yeah, there's a little bit of heel to the slippers of spider climbing. They've got shoe lifts in them.
We need to make you the shoes that Smeech had in Arcane. Anyway.
Oh, or better yet, the shoes that the one pirate captain had. The little platform
Yep.
Oh yeah,
extendo legs.
yes, Tiefers,
Ah.
Captain Tiefers.
Captain Tiefers, my man.
So,
So we might also be dealing with a shadow dragon at some point.
Or something to that effect. Yes, lots of.
Crazy
And
beasts
other-
from beyond the plains.
Yes.
Lovely.
and we can't
Absolutely
forget the
lovely.
gods are doing something too when the sky went all pretty.
Oh yes,
So-
the black sky.
If you remember, actually, Will, that you guys met on your way down to Seawards Port, who was an agent of the Legion of the Mythic Dawn from Evergard, who is sort of a secret organization that fights the Black Sky, which is, to you guys, extra dimensional.
Yeah, it's a
organization.
weird, scary, big bad that's off in the distance. It's
Way
the
off-
villain
way
of
off in the
another
distance.
story.
It is
Yeah.
the villain of another story. Will mentioned when you guys met him that the leaders of the Legion had gone to the Shadowfell to kill one of the leaders of the Black Sky. You don't know how that went.
Wait,
but
the Black Sky is an organization? I thought it was just a thing, a dude.
nah.
No.
It's a
There's
secret organization.
dudes.
They went to kill one of the leaders that was residing in the Shadowfell, and that leader had a shadow dragon.
Okay, might be related, but
No,
Oh,
he has
speaking-
connections to the Black Sky, but
wait, he does? You know that for a fact. Calhoun Silvar is connected to the Black Sky.
distantly. I don't think he's a member, but he works with them occasionally.
That
As
would
equals or a superior?
No
I'm
idea.
thinking
I
more
don't
along
know.
the lines of opportunists. Like, he's running his own scheme and theirs happens to align with that.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend? Question mark.
You know, you would know Alphadon, because this happened while Sushi was with the Legion. There was a time where they went to hunt down this guy, this leader of a Thieves Guild there called the Tavern. The Thieves Guild was called the Tavern in Evergarde. And they hunted down the leader called the Bartender, and they found him on death's door because he had just had a fight with Calhoun Silvar. That's his last words were Calhoun Silvar before the Legion finished him off. And Sushi was there for that, so you would probably know about that. As well.
Okay.
You convey that?
Yeah, I would convey that. Yeah, there was an incident where the Legion was going against a member of the Black Sky, right?
They were going against a local Thieves Guild guy that they hated. Honestly, they just hated him.
I mean, of course they did, with a name like the Bartender. Hey,
It was
that's
the bartender, the cook, yeah. I thought it was a cool
This has
theme.
been-
Fuck you, Speed.
killed for crimes of unoriginality.
I think Evergarde would be a next good step then. If it
Oh, is it
will
anyway?
take us to more answers or something. I'm not fully understanding what additionally we have to deal with right now because
If we could
Black
assist
Sky
in
is not your
breaking,
problem,
yeah,
alright?
Black Sky is not a problem. If we could assist in breaking the
The siege.
blockade, the siege,
yeah.
that would be
Well,
probably
Evergarde
welcomed.
would be one option. We could go there and try and intervene directly. Another option, and you're right, it should not be my decision. This is your father we're talking about. The city you've got the most connections to, Alphadon, and you're going to be a part of this too, Akash, so I want your opinion. We could try going to Smuggler's Port and poisoning any resupplies that are headed into to resupply the ships.
I'm
Try to
tired
break.
of pirates.
Wait, what?
I'm tired of pirates. He just kind of says, breathing out heavily.
To be perfectly honest, Akash, I got a little tired of them myself. So that's not just you. That was a lot of a lot.
I think that was a specific pirate, but
He was. My whole family is not like that. I was told stories about that man that were apparently not true, which is further proof that manipulating family is bad.
yes.
Well, before we continue, can I do something?
Oh, by all means.
He's kind of like standing up by the. Come here.
You
Come here.
want me to?
Come here.
Both of us?
Yeah, come
both
here.
of us, yeah.
Come here.
Oi.
Come on, closer.
All right.
Are we gonna hug?
Yeah, he just picks you up, one in both arms, and he just kind of like lifts you both up. I'm sorry, this helped. Thank you. And he kind of just like squeezes you like very like uncomfortably tight. And like
It's
you're
a
like
strong
lifted up like 2 feet, Yonnan.
Yeah.
Oh This
I
is
don't
why
know
I
if you
don't
actually lift
date.
Alfred off the floor. I think he's slightly taller than you.
Like an inch.
I'm
Get off like an
definitely telling
inch.
Delphina about this part.
Thank you.
Look at his legs swinging. Oh my gosh.
Yonnan flips her the bird with
She
his
flipped
free
me
hand.
too. Yeah.
All right, and then he puts you down. Thank you.
Okay. I'm glad you're feeling better, and I mean that sincerely.
Thank you.
But I've never been to Smuggler's Port. If we can get us back on track a little, I've never been. It is not necessarily a pirate town. There's a lot of pirate folk that come there. It's a big place for people from Waterworld to unload their cargo, as it were. Lot of good fences there, but there are legitimate businesses. It's turned into it's actually a lot like Seawards Port, where it was sort of founded by pirates who sort of went legitimate a bit. So it won't be all pirates, but there's also a significant navy presence.
I might know a captain if we can get a ship that might be willing to help us.
Really?
A ship could be acquired. The Empire has plenty to spare.
Remember back in Waterworld where the one captain was talking about like her ex-lover? Or her ex... I don't remember her name. Long story short, I know her lover.
Oh, you do? You do? Oh, is that the Captain with scares?
Yeah, he actually frequents the inn I was staying at.
There is the matter of
Okay.
getting that ship from this body
He
of water all
wants
the way
to
up
have a
the-
ship. He's very keen on that.
But
It might be a way.
so yes, as far as breaking the siege that will happen in Everguard, Waterworld Everguard.
Water guard. That's the Duke. Like it.
Yes, poisoning supplies in Smuggler's Port that are bound for the blockade could work, but if they use any of those supplies on the way there, that might cause them to turn around and it cause a small delay, not a major one. If that's enough to get them to turn around or break the blockade, then yes. But I was thinking, we don't know if anyone has looked into that the hemomancers in Eastside Keep. That is something that's.
We did send.
We did mention it, yes.
Well, we told the woman from Esbeck, the bloody hell, I am terrible with names. The founder of the Shadow Band. Sister, what's that? Oh, she founded the Shadow Band. Didn't I mentioned that?
Oh yes. The
Vienna? Zonifer?
Yeah, what was that? Could you say that again, Jack?
The name is Zienna Zonifer.
Sister, I met Sienna Zonifer. Don't tell anyone. I promised I wouldn't tell
Holy
anyone.
shit, she's a legend.
that wasn't an Esbeck. That was.
Where
in
do you
Hobbitsville,
think I
believe.
got the bloody coin from?
She's from Esbjerg.
Yes.
Huh. But I suppose that makes sense, but either way, we got quite a
Alright,
bit yet
we
to get
should-
done today.
We should contact
Yes.
Sienna, send her a message, see if she's followed through on the East Side Keep. I remember we did contact Jerry Carver and tell him to send some help to help her with dealing with that, because we thought there was a chance her daughter had been taken to the hemo lab.
That's right.
Sienna's daughter, the missing one.
Oh yeah, Blood of the Dragon and all that.
It seems like it'd be a keen interest for the hemo lab stuff. Oh, speaking of hemo labs, so Calroon Silvar was got all the hemo labs set up. One thing, Akash, we learned when we were talking with Alphadon's mentor, he said that apparently Calroon Silvar sent one of his clones, one of his, simulacrums,
Yes.
to Evergard to try and kill King Mokugar. Now, we don't know if it was the same simulacrum that the Scale Guard fought. They said they lost several of their men fighting the one that was here in town.
How many of those
But-
things can he make?
At least
This
one.
This is like the fourth one that you've encountered. I
Yes.
haven't seen one of them.
Well,
No?
you did see one. You saw the one you talked to, the Calroon Silvar you talked to. That was a simulacrum.
Oh. That looked really lifelike.
I know, it's a very powerful spell.
That means there's a
Just
possibility.
learn hold person. God damn.
What?
Becca's like scrunching her eyebrow and like rubbing her head. She's like, I just learned hold person. Fuck.
Yeah,
There-
she's not ready to go up against an archmage yet.
No, she's got second level spells.
If the word that you said,
Simulacrum.
if that was in the army camp here, there's a chance that Seraphin might have interacted. I don't know. He's also been here healing people. There's a chance that he might know something. Once we save him, he could provide some information.
That is possible.
There's a very strong possibility. We know he had some kind of lab here in town, or some kind of site. It was, from what I gathered when I disguised
Guard.
myself and the Scale Guard. The Scale Guard fought him when we were hiding out in my sister's safe house. Remember when Gax wanted us to go and fight the Aboleth, and I suggested we wait because the Scale Guard were coming.
Yeah.
They said that they fought him, bloodied him up real hard. He killed several of their men, and it still managed to teleport away. Might have been the same one that went after Mokugar, because my knowledge of these things is not as advanced as a real wizard, but I know that one thing I have learned is that simulacrums aren't as good as the real thing because they don't get their magic back.
They also, I don't believe, heal naturally. He would have to repair it.
I know a
So
little bit
maybe-
about magic. Is this something that I know? Like some people can break their soul thing out into different things, and they can't get that back. Is it like that?
I'm pretty sure, again, I do not know how to do it myself either, but from what I've read, I believe it is a autonomous copy of him. I don't know if it has all the memories or whatnot, but it's
Well, I imagine it'd have to be obedient, otherwise there'd be no way a fucker like Silvar would trust it not to turn on him.
So they
Oh.
could go against their maker? Like, do they have their own independent thought, or are they controlled by the host?
Pretty sure they're controlled. Pretty sure they just
yeah, they're
do
loyal.
what.
They're-
That's okay. That's
So there
confusing.
might be multiple Calroon Silvars just running around. And maybe when the Scale Guards messed one of them up real bad, Calroon said, I could repair you, but I could cut my losses, send you up against King Mokugar. If you don't make it back, you are already a write-off, and if you do, well, that's one less problem. Or it might have been another one altogether.
Okay. Oh god. Whatever it
it's a
seems
lot.
like, that guy is the one who's behind a lot of the shit we've been dealing with.
I agree
Well, him and the
completely.
Emperor, yes.
Well, that's gonna take a lot longer to deal with. Well, maybe, I don't know. I don't know how powerful this guy is.
He took
Considering
on
he's an
a
aboleth,
he took on a dozen scale guards, and they barely managed to force him to retreat, and that wasn't even the real thing.
I'm pretty sure
So-
Simulacrum's about half
Killed
as
half
strong.
of them.
Does
they have
he
half
work
the hit points, but the same spell slots. You just
Okay,
can't recover
so yeah.
spell slots. Yeah.
Does he work for the Empire?
Yes. As far as the Empire is concerned, yes, but he's got his own agenda.
If only that could be brought to
He's
light
been
and maybe
around
make
since
him an
before
enemy.
the Empire, but
I had
Oh,
I
elf,
had
yeah.
a plan.
he's not
I
enough.
had a plan in that regard.
I don't know what he is, but he's not
It
enough.
sort of went pear-shaped.
He looks like an elf.
If we could get to the original and get him to... There are spells, there are druid spells that Sushi could learn that could force him to reveal his true shape. If we could do that while he was in public. That was my original plan, to take him off the board before the Scale Guard took him out, which probably for the best. I'm not sure that plan would have worked on Simulacrum, but...
I don't know. There's also a chance you just kill all the witnesses and
Yeah, that's more of what I would be concerned about. He could just poof, dead. I don't know, wizard
depends
magic.
on how,
You know, he's
Depends on
probably
how big a
killed
crowd,
witnesses
but-
before.
yes,
Alphadon.
or kidnap them and use them for his experiments.
depends on how big a crowd. It's not a bad plan, but it'd be tricky. It'd be very tricky to get. I mean, no one's gonna take our word for it that this respected, high-ranking wizard is a shapeshifter from another plane.
Nope. Do you think he might play anything of what's going to be happening in the next coming days? Or is it safe to say he's not anywhere in the city anymore? Or could come back to the city?
He's a wild card.
I don't have any real way of knowing, but the fact that he's Simulacrum left would make me think that he's probably lost interest in the area for the time being.
He could have come back any time in the last few days, or sent another simulacrum if he's got one to spare. I think it's a reasonable conjecture that this fucker has his fingers in a lot of different pies, and if we are very lucky, he'll be too distracted by something going on over wherever to come and bother with matters here.
About that, I do know that a regular wizard can only have one at a time, but he's not a regular wizard, so I don't know for certain that he can't do more than one, but most likely he only has one simulacrum at a time. Unless he's somehow modified the spell. Oh, he very well could have.
Right, so I think the best solution to that, to keep it out, at least for the time being, I would say it's not a stretch to suggest that Calroon Silvar, whatever his real name is, whatever his agenda, probably likely doesn't give a flying fuck if you manage to kill Larkin, or if Larkin manages to use that fancy sword to send your soul to hell. But if he was to find out that his apprentice was alive, that might make a difference. So long as we keep Alphadon's face hidden, there's a good chance he won't be showing up to make our lives worse in the immediate future.
Yes.
But does he work with he works with corpses too, right?
He's a hemomancer, so that's not... It's not quite the same as
It's the
necromancy,
Rash?
but that's...
He's done
It's related.
Okay, so we don't have to dispose of any if there's mass casualties.
he knows a lot of different schools of magic. I would not limit
Right.
it only to hemomancy, but he was collecting blood samples, and he does know some blood magic, yes.
Okay.
Akash, when you got your... oh, that's right. We took his blood samples. We took the blood samples that the simulacrum had. So any blood samples he took in Seawards Port,
Well, the
I
scale
dumped
guard
those.
The Scale Guard did, yes.
Well, the scale guard, they gave the bag to me. I dumped the
Yeah.
blood samples down the basin in Delphina's safe house. So he doesn't have a mark on anyone in Seawards Port. But we don't know if he's got... He might still have a sample of your blood, Arthadon. It's a matter of if he thinks to use it.
If you bothered to keep any, yes.
This is the sort of wizard that has been around since before the rise of the current civilization. I figure he likely keeps things around for a long time.
It's definitely a possibility.
It's always a concern that we're going to have to.
He's the type of wizard who takes any wayward students and uses them for his own experiments. So, yeah, he's not a reasonable person.
We're gonna have to deal with that man at some point. He was responsible more so than any living soul for the death of me mother. So I've got business with that man. But if we go up against him now without a bloody army at our backs, he'll be scraping blood samples off our corpses.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to file that away for fights for another day.
Yes, I think we've gone off track.
Yeah.
Focus on this one fight that we're going to be dealing with right now.
Yeah, as long as that's not going to cause any issues now. As long as he's, long gone.
The contingency is if he shows up,
We bloody run. We've
get
got
out
to.
of there.
If he shows up, we've got to grab the. What's your friend's name? The one we're rescuing.
Seraphin.
If he shows up, Alphadon, I would recommend.
I'll use the staff of unreliable teleportation and get us out of there.
Aye. You can get across
Unreliable.
fields faster
I think
than I can, so you could get to him, to Seraphin.
if it breaks while I'm using it, we could end up in the middle of the ocean. But
I can swim.
there's no major volcanoes in the area.
Oh.
We should be okay.
Right, exactly. Focus on the positive.
Okay,
If there
then
was
you can row the
volcanoes
boat
around
as a swimming. You could be the horse to the boat carriage, Yonnan.
Yeah, we might want to
The
see if we
sushi
can
and I
get.
can
Horse
take
to the
turns.
boat carriage? You mean the rower?
No,
This is
he'd
kind
be
of
actually just
things-
swimming to tow. We wouldn't be rowing. He would
Oh.
be leading it like a sled dog. That's better analogy.
These are the kind
Sorry.
of conversations I have daily
Sled
now,
boat, yes.
sister.
Perhaps
Horse
we
to the
could look.
boat carriage is insane.
Perhaps look into getting a some kind of emergency.
I tried to think, man.
It was
Do they have? It's called this portable boats. What are they called? There's a magical item.
Foldable boats. I've seen
Foldable
them.
boats.
boat,
They,
I think, or
Foldable
something.
boat. Yes, it's
they
not
sell
a.
them
not a
sometimes at the magic shop you and Gax went to, so maybe check
they
around.
often
But-
use as an emergency lifeboat on ships. But
Right, might be
Well,
a good idea to keep
something
one of
small
those
enough to-
around.
fit into the portable hole. That could be useful if you end up in the middle of the ocean or something.
Well, there's quite a bit to do, and I'm sure there's some other decisions you gotta make, like where your keep will be set up. But at this point in the conversation, with you guys kind of wrapping this up a little bit and getting ready to, go and do some of the things you need to do, that is where we're going to take our first break tonight. So for all you who are watching, thanks for keeping up with us. We'll be back here shortly. See you soon.
Hello. Hello. I'm here.
This is good.
Did Yonnan say anything about the chitlins making bombs?
Yonnan liked it.
Cool. If you need me to make a roll for that, for the bombs, I can do that.
I will. Because like there, but the thing is, like you guys are making a lot because I thought it was funny to say the assembly line thing. So they're gonna be pretty small bombs.
Yeah, really what we're doing is we're just making explosives and putting them into barrels. So it doesn't matter if they're big or small, they're all going into the same place.
Gotcha. I see. I wasn't sure if you were trying to make the tiny bombs because you haven't got like the boom seeds yet or anything.
And they won't be here until after this fight.
Yes, after this
So
encounter. Or whatever.
we're basically just packing TNT, quote unquote TNT, into barrels.
Got the little hogshead barrels.
Yeah.
Half cask. Is that the right
Do I get
size to
advantage because of my backstory with bomb making?
Do you have any tool proficiencies?
No.
I'd say you're proficient with the boom seed stuff, but this is different. So
Okay.
they're not
Fair.
advantage.
Fair enough.
But
Boom
you
seed
do
proficiency.
have the street kids working with you, and part of those street kids are the halflings from the halfling family.
Yo,
right?
let's go. So we give each other advantage. Let's go.
And well, those halfling kids, if you remember when you were running away from that, they lit a Molotov and threw it at the guards. So they have
like
some sort of
me.
proficiency in bomb making. They're from the Harefoot Basin, so they're
Just like me, for real, for real.
yeah.
I'll be such a good influence. I could be their
Eli
parent.
is the oldest. He's like 15, 14.
Oh, okay. Wait, that's a full-grown adult.
He's a halfling.
Oh.
So, I mean, not really.
They grow a little slower.
Yeah.
Well, their life expectancy isn't
something.
30, so.
No. Oh. There's Allie Spicer, who's the middle, and then Levi is the youngest.
How long does it take to drink a pint of beer, ale, mead, or wine?
Depends how good you are at chugging.
How long does it take for me to drink a pint of beer, ale, mead, or wine?
I would say 2 rounds.
No.
1 round.
I've seen if people are chugging healing potions. That's
How much
thicker
volume's in
than-
a healing potion? I thought they were like 3 ounces or
Not
something.
their actual amounts.
No, they're. I mean, they're less than like a pint of beer, but it's still. It's also thicker. You know,
Thicker
like you're not
solution.
traditionally you're not supposed to be allowed to. Rules as written, you can't drink a potion as a bonus action, but I think that's dumb. So I allow you to drink a potion as a bonus action, like most DMs do. So I would say if you get res, it'd probably be an action. Maybe.
Cool.
I don't
You know
I
what's-
might- for fun, I might have you roll a con check or something. But...
Yeah, the way that because I know that some DMs rule it that you can do it as a bonus action. I personally give the choice where if you do it as an action, you get the maximum amount of healing.
That's what
But
my
if you do
buddy
it as a bonus
Steve
action,
is doing in our new campaign that he started, and I really like it. I'm thinking about adding
Yeah.
that rule actually into here.
Mhm. And then if it's a bonus action, you still have to roll.
You have to roll. Yep, that's kind of. I'm heavily leaning towards doing that. I just haven't yet because I'm introducing so many rules right now with the Kingdoms and Warfare stuff.
Yeah.
And also, there might be some other stuff that I might want to batch into being like, now we're gonna do this stuff a little bit. Like, there's some additive unconscious rules that allow you to try to do something while you're unconscious, but people might try to finish you off then. And allow you to like go into your negative hit points, but you can die a little bit easier. It's an interesting mechanic. So the types, they give different like minor bonuses. Like a tower allows you to start creating, typically it's a thing that allows you to start creating spells and doing some other stuff. A temple has a table that you can roll on occasionally to like gain new allies and weird things like that. And the establishment, I guess, is a espionage stronghold, where the keep is a martial stronghold.
Wow.
If all these, you guys will inherit, like, you'll take this over, basically.
Man, this is a lot of espionage and like
Yeah, I mean, ask me, I mean, that works.
and warfare, and I'm just sitting here thinking like, man, Dax is kind of out of his depth.
Okay.
Oh, we all are.
Yeah, well, at least you guys have things that can be put towards that fact. Gax really doesn't.
You can punch things real good.
Yeah,
and you're
that's
making
not-
bombs. You're making bombs. That's contributing.
Yes. You're contributing.
There's an old gnomish saying. You build a man a bomb, you kill his enemies tomorrow. You teach a man to build bombs, you get rid of his enemies all his life.
Right, so you're saying that you should be building these bombs instead.
No, I'm saying teaching my sister to build these bombs is a very good thing.
I thought you
She's
were the
old
one
enough
who
to
said that.
learn.
I thought you were the one who said you didn't want your sister a part of this.
It's not my decision to make.
I don't think he wanted to be part of the fighting. But yes, what he wants and what happens are not necessarily the same thing.
Yeah. So, plan, we're going to come back in. We're going to pick where you guys want, which will determine the type of stronghold that you're going to get. You might have to put some money into it. Not a ton, not the full cost, but like a couple grand maybe.
A donation.
We have that. We have that.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And then you'll get those bonuses, and then we'll divvy out the troops. We'll do some other roleplay, get through some of the tasks you guys might want to do tonight, and then we will end with you guys making your first intrigue roll. So one of you will get to make a choice, and then how we're going to do it is, for sure, one intrigue roll an episode until we get to the battle to sort of space it out and stuff. We might do two depending on the timing, but yeah, that's the gist of it. And then we're going to jump back into things.
Alright. Are you here, Autumn?
Yep.
Damn. That's unfortunate. Joking.
I said the same thing about you when you came back.
Alright, you know what, Autumn? You want to fight? Is that what's happening?
There is definitely some kind of tension going on between our characters.
Alright, you know what? Maybe Gax and Akash just needs to kiss. Alright, you know what? Maybe.
If you don't kiss the homies goodnight, do you even love them? Alright.
Exactly. I'll kiss down his chin.
The sword stays on during.
Which sword? Alright.
Too
we
Too
gotta
much
get into this.
information.
We
Yeah.
gotta get into
The
this.
third one is terrible.
Welcome back, everyone, from our short break here, as we find the rest of the party in Shade's End, the hidden sanctum for the Shadow Band here in Seawards Port. As you all are heading towards a back room, the rest of the party grabs Gax, who has returned,
Hello.
and are able to make their way to a sort of war room with a little map of the city as they begin to chart out and plan for where to make their own individual stronghold here in this city. As you all are gathering around, you see El Capitan rolls out the map. He's smoking a cigarette. He stress smokes, for sure. As he's puffing on it, he goes, "So, it is time for you to make your choice, yeah."
Hi.
Yes.
Putting it off, but
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So?
It's not you, but it's me.
I suggest that you all have a discussion about where you want to have this, and if there are opposing ideas, how about you take a vote?
Yeah.
that sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
All right. Well, where do you wish to go?
Wish-
And also, does anyone want any whiskey? I know it is 3:30 in the afternoon,
Yes,
but it is...
please, for
This
the
man's-
love of the gods.
Speaking my language.
I had my men steal this off of a caravan being sent to a high-ranking noble in Gem City. Very, very fancy.
Oh, the good stuff.
As he pulls
Fuck
out
yeah.
basically like some bourbon.
Oh,
Nice bourbon as he
yes.
pours some.
How
Jeez,
strong is
fantasy
this? How strong is this?
Oh,
Nowhere
about
near
50%,
me to
so 100
test.
proof.
100 proof.
Oh, that's strong. That's the good stuff.
It's good. It's got some like deep, softer notes to it. It's not super harsh, as it probably should be for
I'm
that
feeling
strength. But it
it
has a
mostly on the back end. I'm feeling it more on the back end.
almost like it was
That's
aged in like
good.
port wine barrels, you know.
I'm
Speaking of that,
tasting notes of vanilla. Notes of vanilla.
As you guys are able to have the whiskey if you wish, or water or anything
Yep.
else if you also wish. Also, cigarettes, El Capitan will offer.
oh no, I don't smoke.
All right, to get off your high horse, you can just say no.
Bloody
Um,
monks.
Yeah.
As,
yeah.
you all are looking at this area, what are the thoughts that you have, especially considering the different types of strongholds you might look at starting with?
I think just for the point of having a more diversified sort of
Like, we
reach
don't want
on.
to stack our headquarters on top of each other. We want to
Yeah, we
have
should.
places we could fall back to.
I think it
You-
should be in Clearport.
You guys would know that this, just to give you the info, the Shadowbands headquarters here, they act as a NPC realm. They're just friendly towards you guys.
Yeah.
You know, their headquarters is considered a establishment. It's not
Okay.
a tower, temple, or keep. It's an establishment. Just to let you know.
Yeah. I think we should probably do the same thing over in Clearport, not just because it puts another one of our places outside of a friendly establishment's reach, but because of the fact that we wouldn't be on the same side of the river as.
No, there's some good spots in Clearport.
Yeah.
It used to be happening when I was a wee lad, but there's plenty of abandoned real estates after
Perfect.
20 years of plague.
Also, just to point this out, Upper Ward has advantages of having large, very stone, well defended mansions or estates of rich families, and is also on a hill. Clearport, of course, is by the harbor, which has its own advantages. But also,
I
Upper
think
Ward
it's-
being near the walls of the city is not a bad thing either.
I also think we should be in Clearport because of the port. We are going to be having some allies coming around, so being able to funnel them directly into our control
I
zones
agree.
is strong.
Having areas of retreat and connections to the outside is preferable to defensibility. We're on the same page here, Gax. This is
That's
a bit
new.
weird, but yeah, it's a bit. Still getting used to it. I kind of like
Sushi,
it.
what do you think? And then you look over and you see Sushi has turned into an owl who goes, "Whoo!
You, Sushi,
Alright.
you, what do you think?
Good. She was herself a second ago. Akash, you have military experience here. Perhaps more than any of the rest of us, likely. So, do you have opinions?
I think that Clearport is primarily going to be a good area in relation to it into where its location is. Besides that, the only thing to consider is if an attack were to happen, which one has the most just natural defenses or could be fortified the easiest. I am concerned that that does open us up to potential risks in that, but as long as it's fortified correctly, I don't see an issue with it.
Yes, the other places would likely be easier to fortify, but that comes with the cost of making it more challenging to retreat if the fortifications fail.
Well, sounds like we're all in favor of Clearport. I am as well. But do we want to find a place closer to the center of town or towards the outskirts? Because I think that would affect this fortification, how easy it can get out of the city.
I would say
The walls wrap around the north and both sides of the city until they hit the harbor.
What about
Just to
underground?
let you guys know.
we could do. If it's underground, we can't do it that close to the port.
No. but does the city have, Yonnan, you're more familiar with the city than any of us. Does the city have a decent underground system? Whether sewers, escape tunnels, whatnot?
It does. Just to let you know.
It does. There were some old Shanghai tunnels from back when it used to be called Iron Claw, but there's a few places where there's some good underground places. Even some of the underground actually runs under some of the buildings, so we could set up like a front, sort of like what we had in the Worldport Watch Repair.
We would need if we do something like that, we would need a face, and I'm going to be completely honest, none of ours are too good for that situation.
For here, I would say it'd have to be Yonnan. He's the most, I would say, familiar to the city as well as his family.
Well, that also comes with the detriment, because isn't the...
Oh, they're looking for me, but
Yeah,
there's
they're
people
looking
that can be... There's people that can be hired to keep their mouth shut. Worst case scenario, if it absolutely comes to it, we tell Mr. Harry and Hardy what to say, have him do the face business, because the only time they've seen him is at night.
Right, okay. Then that works. If that's the case, I mean, we'll just need to find somewhere with a decent underground access, and then we have our exit strategy, maybe even a place to set up shop in that.
Do any of them lead towards the port?
Oh, many of them. This was back in the day, back in the bad old days, they used to get fellas drunk, and when there was sort of a shortage of deckhands for the longer voyages, this was back when sailing took longer, they'd knock a fella out, slip him a Mickey Finn, and toss him in the tunnels. You'd wake up on a boat, they'd tell you, oh, you signed a contract last night where you were drunk, and you're working your debt off till you get to the next port. So there's ways to get to the docks from underground.
Plus, if it's a sewer system, that would go out to the ocean anyways.
It's a very
but those are
sewer
smelly.
system. It is smelly. It's one thing, like, Shade's End here is connected to the sewer system underneath the city. So
yeah, I mean, if that's the
for
case,
access, but it is. I mean, it's smelly. It's fine.
That's whatever.
And I say, yeah, anywhere in Clearport, as long as it has those types of routes.
Okay.
I can make some inquiries.
I would say the closer to the walls as well as the docks would be preferable, just to have those 2 points of,
close to what?
defense.
Wouldn't that, depending on where it's located, couldn't that be potentially closer to guards too?
Isn't that a good thing?
I don't know. With how things might, depending on if the guards stay in control of the city, if everything goes according to plan, but
The guards are on your side.
Yeah.
The army is not.
Yeah. So as long as,
So-
we're good.
So
good with that.
something close to the wall, not too far from the docks, but not right on them. Maybe a couple blocks further north.
Yeah, something like that.
I think I know of a few places like that.
Preferably too, somewhere that's, this might sound counterintuitive, that's actually relatively busy, that sees a lot of foot traffic around it. Less conspicuous.
I get you. Less conspicuous. There's...
Oh,
I'll make it pretty later, but I added the Seawards Port map to the home screen here.
Okay.
So that we can mark where you guys want to be at.
I will also put one more thing to the group as a whole. Can I have my cloak back, Akash?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Please. Thank you.
So maybe something around here we get something around like maybe here a bit, maybe a little closer to the upper wards where there's a bit more foot traffic.
I would.
You could cross that road, be barely in the upper ward and close to Clearport if you wish to, and that's where you can start to get the height advantage because that's where the hill starts.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty good place to set up shop.
Then maybe
Over here.
right. Aye, that's a good spot, right about there.
I would say also here would be a good spot just due to the fact that that's sort of in the center of like a big crossroads area. And still decently close to the port itself. But any of these spots could work.
Yeah, having a little bit of height advantage while still being out of the way.
Yeah.
Still being, in Clearport.
So do you know this building here is available?
I'm just
Oh,
gonna
that building! That's... that is... What is that?
I'm marking in orange where the guard garrisons are.
Oh,
right. That's
okay.
that little building. Yeah, this is an old map. That was the original guardhouse. It's that entire block now. They closed the public commons and turned the whole thing into a guards barracks.
And then I'll mark in red where the Empire is roughly.
Where they're camped out?
Basically all up here. Yeah.
Okay. I think probably around somewhere around this area is where we're thinking. Right?
The blue
Right.
marking?
Yeah,
I
blue
think
marking.
That's
Somewhere there.
somewhere around there if we can find some available real estate.
Speed, I'm about to ask you to do something for me that I think you'll appreciate. Will you roll a history check for me, please, with advantage?
Ooh, with advantage too?
Advantage?
Ooh.
I mean,
This
if
is your
I
hometown,
must.
man.
Christmas came early this year.
Alright, that wasn't too good, but I'm gonna earn a psionic energy die and
With
take
27?
that because it was only a 27, so I'm gonna take it to a 35!
Holy.
35?
Ooh.
God damn.
Yikes.
I will say, of the area that you guys are talking about, on that corner there, because it's in the upper ward, you would remember back a couple of... There's a family that sort of just disappeared years ago, and their estate is a bit more decrepit now, because it hasn't been maintained. But there is a empty estate there that has a tower / temple on it, if you would want to go that route. You could also use it as an establishment. With a 35, you have those options available to you.
Okay.
If you choose
Oh,
that
well, if we... I mean, having a temple or a tower would be... I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
it's a part of the estate. Yeah, there's other buildings on it.
That'd be cool and nice, but I think that would be a little bit too forward.
I mean, not necessarily. If we buy the estate, say... What if we went to the solicitor's office, or rather, our friend went to the real estate solicitor and said, "Hello, my name is Harrion Hardy. I am an extremely experienced adventurer looking to spend the money I made adventuring on buying a home that I could use, preferably something with a built-in temple and/or tower."
How the hell did you do that?
I've spent a lot of time listening to him talk. It's
pretty good.
He is a bit of a arsehole, but in the innocent way.
I still think our best bet is if we want to get somewhere like that, that's cool. But I still think we should err on the side of caution and be as
Something
unsuspecting.
inconspicuous.
Yeah.
You can.
All right.
What I'm getting at is basically there's locations there that you can use for any of those three options: the establishment, the temple, or the
Right.
tower.
So
The
we can.
establishment is the cheapest one, and
Yeah.
it's also locations that have an estate where like there might be like if you choose the establishment, you'll probably go to one where there's like a crumbled tower, and in the future you could build that up and make that a
Yeah,
tower
that
where you can have you can have multiple.
that's what I
stronghold
meant.
locations.
Like maybe
Oh,
we
you could
still
do
get that
multiple.
place.
Yeah, within
Like
the
we.
You
same
can have
domain, you
multiple
can have
types
multiple.
act on.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
that's how you get multiple of you being able to get your class bonuses. You each have your own little area within the domain. So like you
Oh,
got a
that's
Okay.
wizard
so cool.
tower, and then a monk's
Yeah.
monastery, and then a rogue's tavern, and then
Yeah.
Whereas if
So
we want to
let's.
make Seawards Port the base of our operations going forward throughout this whole.
I would assume we want to, considering
I
this is
mean, if
where
we
we're bringing our
succeed in
allies.
liberating the city, then it'd be a
Should
pretty
be a
good
good.
place to.
Yes,
Of
Branching
course,
off point.
yes.
there's
Branching off
other
point.
advantages of having, multiple headquarters of the plumbers, having a little base in each city. But that's
We
not
can
how
we
the
can
system
we
consideration
works.
across later.
we can think about that later. Um.
Right.
But
So
yeah.
we're thinking establishment somewhere, that little area between the Upper Ward and Clearport.
Yeah. We'll probably get that estate that you told us about for that.
Aye, it's.
Akash and Alphadon, what do you think?
What were the benefits? Sorry, this is I guess out of
Hey, you're fine.
our
You're
characters
fine.
wouldn't
No, it's
know
all
this
good.
fully, but the benefits for a
all good.
temple. Because I mean, Akash is a
So,
paladin.
how this works is
We do
you
have
pick the stronghold
bonuses.
type, and then that stronghold gives you guys benefits and certain options for it, and then that is given to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And then past that, whoever occupies that as their like home structure,
Yes.
you get your class benefits on top of it. So a big thing with the temple is it gives you a concordance chart, which allows you to like petition your deity or whoever for weird allies you can get. Like if you roll really good on the D100 chart, you can get a adolescent dragon and things like that. With the wizard tower, it allows you to modify spells in really cool ways and things along those lines. The encampment I'm less familiar with, or establishment I'm less familiar with, but I know that like the keep, which is unfortunately not on the table for you guys right now, gives you guys like abilities to train different martial things. Like you could train piercing, and then it'll give you a little bonus to piercing or shield mastery or light armor mastery, and it gives you like small bonuses to using those sorts of weapons or armor or whatever. That's like keeps benefit. And the establishment, the gist of it, to my understanding, is that it allows you to generate some money and allows you to do more like spying or espionage stuff.
Espionage stuff would be very useful at this stage of the revolution. Because we don't have a ton of people to train.
The establishment starts on page, the PDF page 36 of Strongholds and Followers. Shout out Matt Colville.
Okay. Yeah, the establishment does make sound the best fit. I agree.
Our current needs. Yeah.
Yes.
Akash, what do you think?
I'm in agreement. They know this. Well, Yonnan knows the city better than us. Well, it sounds good on paper. Well, not on paper, but from what I've heard.
Good in theory. Then we'll
Yeah.
see how it works in practice.
All right. Well, that is settled. You can talk to Harrian, get him to go and purchase the property from the office, and we can secretly get to work on touching it up a bit and making it operational, so you can set up there. In
What
the
page of
meantime,
the Stronghold and Followers did you say it was on?
36, I believe, was the establishment where that starts. Yes, 36. PDF page 36.
Yep.
35 if you
I was
actually
looking
look
at
at the
Kingdoms
page
of
numbers.
Warfare. That's why I was able to find it.
Yeah, there's the two books. Strongholds and Followers came out before Kingdoms and Warfare. They work in tandem together. But yes, as you guys have made that decision, there are a few things left on your plate to get ready for this upcoming meeting with Adonis Larkin. El Capitan can go and secretly do some illusions of the Greyhawks in the port occasionally, or have someone else do that as well. To
I thought we
assist
were
with this.
gonna do something a bit more like big. Like I thought we were gonna go kill a guard and then sort of drop him in front of his
Not a
friends
guard.
with the illusion. No, not guard, a soldier, low-ranking soldier.
Ooh.
Who got her on our side, or at least some of them are.
Absolutely.
Right.
That you're right. That was the plan. You guys can get into that in the future, so that might take a little bit more time than we have tonight. But there are other things that you guys were talking about doing, potentially working on the barrel trap. I know Gax has been working on that. We'll have you roll for that here shortly, just for the bombs inside of it. But Alphadon also is looking at, setting up the trap and making sure that all that works.
Well,
Other
the
things.
enchantment to make it look magical as a lure. Yes.
Another option would be to try and we talked about possibly poisoning some of the water for at the soldiers' encampment. Make sure there's less able bodies.
I would rather we not do that.
Yeah, wouldn't that
We
affect
could-
the person that we're trying to save?
I don't want to even risk that.
If you're gonna be breaking into that encampment, we might as well be trying to free him directly.
Yeah.
But
that's
that water, generally, depending on when it's given, that water is given to
Everyone.
everyone.
That's a fair
I won't
point.
approve of that.
That's a valid point. Okay, I had another idea. What about Larkin's brother? Larkin the Younger, not the one we saw with the archers, but the sneaky one.
What about
What's
him?
his name?
Adrius is the sneaky one. Akrahn is his twin, who is a bit more worried about his older brother.
Oh, Akrahn is the right. Akrahn the
He's
warrior.
The fighter. Yeah, he's a fighter.
Akrahn.
Marshal.
Right. Akrahn Larkin was the guard captain she told us about. He sounds like he's got reservations about this path his brother's been taking. If we could get to him, if we could talk to him, we might be able to, and I know it's a long shot, but if we can sort of give voice to the sort of concerns he already has about, well, everything the Empire's been doing. I mean, he watched his brother go into a temple where nobody has seen the cardinals in months or years, and suddenly he comes out, he's like a different man, and they've given him a bloody hell sword.
Well,
he's not an idiot, he knows something's up.
I do want
Maybe-
to put this forward, though, with that idea. He's still an Imperial soldier.
And he's
Aye,
still loyal
but-
to his brother, blood.
And
They're-
to
I
I would,
could-
if we try to dissuade him in any way, all that is putting our asses on the line for that.
There's a way I could do it without being in the same room with him. All I'd need is a telescope. I don't have to be remember, I don't have to be in the room with someone to have a conversation with them. I just have to be able to see them.
I
telepathic.
think
Yes.
it's more so of not necessarily physically putting our asses on the line, but that's literally putting a direct spotlight and more people like looking at us. And there is the chance that he is He might not approve of
Immovable.
what his brother does, but they are still brothers.
Yeah. he's-
And plus, if he's thing is, he might not be too down with what his brother is doing, but he is obviously very down with what the Empire is doing. He's a full-on general.
Captain.
Akash, you
Captain.
know this better than the rest of us. I get the sense that there's people in the Empire's army who are not down with what the Empire is doing, but don't know how to get off the carts they're on, because it's moving so bloody fast.
Yeah, there definitely are people. I would not point to anyone in the military because they're expendable. As soon as someone even gets a whiff of it, they're non-existent. But there are some individuals that I've heard stories of that potentially.
Well, we saw one. We saw
Josh, do
one
you
in
wanna give me
Barracks
a
Ward.
history or insight check?
Yeah.
But yes, Yonnan is also on the right track for that piece. History or insight, whatever.
19 for history.
19 for history?
Pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, there's, like what Yonan's talking about, the Sir Ian Holidays of the world,
Mhm.
who literally, as soon as he got his command, he tried to bring the people that he cared about to a spot that was supposed to be of all military positioning, the safer one. But as they're talking about this, you remember specifically, there's the military, which they have their own power, and then there's also the church. And a lot of times they work in concordance with one another. But sometimes there's also conflicting ideals, especially with like the base troops in the army, when the people from the church come in because they just let the people from the church do whatever under the cardinals, and they make some weird decisions that strategically to a military leader wouldn't make sense at the time. There was a piece that you weren't seeing, so you know that there can be some little bit of rift there. And as you've heard, that Adonis Larkin was ordained by the church. He is a paladin, essentially. So he is both a military leader and has connections to the church, which makes him a bit special in that regard. He also doesn't lose. He's kind of like the Empire's young, hungry attack dog right now. I mean, he's 27 years old and he's a captain.
Jesus.
That's like the last person to do that was you.
Well, so to speak, there's a reason you don't see any paladins in the front lines. There is conflicting views between the Church of the Empire and the Army of the Empire. They do work in tandem occasionally, and they are often put on missions together. But they have their own loyalties, and I can't vouch to say that they are 100% against what is happening. I don't know fully what their goals are with this. I just know that they do good and help people at times and help the military, but I wouldn't put entirely trust within them. They are conjoined with the Empire for a reason.
So maybe when we go to, I've already forgotten his name. Akrahn. Maybe we give him the same little talk you've just had with me. Duty versus family. Would you follow your brother even if it gets the men under your command killed?
It depends how much the Empire likes them.
Well,
if he does, then it's
it really
insubordination
depends on
to his
how
father.
much he likes him.
His
Well-
brother is his commanding officer, so it'd be insubordination. But
Considering this, though, I've seen the Empire make leniency, and he puts in quotation marks, like his fingers are doing air quotes, because they particularly like one work dog versus the other.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So whichever gets the results quicker.
I
It happened to
I
you,
may
they
not
liked
be.
you because of your brutal-ish
Mhm.
tactics. Like, you got the job done, you know?
And you
I
can
may
get away
not.
with a lot, too.
I may not be following as much as the rest of you all are, but I don't like this plan as much as all the others.
Why not?
It feels stupid.
Could you maybe articulate just a tad more?
Mostly just the fact that if we try and contact anyone that's a part of our opposing side, all that does is potentially mess up the plans we already have in place by accidentally slipping information that may or may not help the opposing side.
You're not wrong that there's a risk of saying more than you intend to. But that also comes with the risk of the other fella doing the same. He
I don't.
might let something slip if we
I'm
push the right buttons.
I'm with Gax on this one. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't trust anyone, and if I were you, I would not trust anyone. Unless you've personally been in bed with them. Maybe even then, and speaking crassly.
All right.
I don't see what that
But
has
I
to do
wouldn't
with
All
trust
right.
But this.
Wait, we were
It's-
supposed to be in bed with each other?
No. You are right. I don't know this man. I've only heard second-hand accounts. I was thinking less in the terms of, recruiting him. I didn't think we could manage that, but I was thinking maybe sowing enough doubt that he doesn't show up to the meeting.
I
Maybe
still
even
think
just
he's going to.
He's.
do you really want to watch your brother kill a man?
Well, I think here's the thing. I think he's kind of forced to come even if he doesn't want to. He is a soldier under his brother's regime.
if the time comes and we see him, if he shows signs, pay attention to him. If he shows signs,
That's
It
when
would
we
be
need to sow the
easier
seeds.
to do that if you approach him first, either indirectly or.
not necessarily.
Well, yes, then you're not strangers at that point. But
What if you show him how bloodthirsty and mad his brother is? We already know that they might disagree on certain things.
yes, but if you plant the idea, the seed.
Do it then.
I like where Althadon's head is at. We could, if he has a night or two to ruminate on it, maybe.
We have to. What exactly would we accomplish by contacting him? That's the.
Potentially create some friction between the brothers, get him to doubt Adonis's leadership and intentions, make him question the things that the orders that the church is
Right,
giving.
but
Yes,
how
we
does that
could-
help?
We could.
I don't think it's going to help.
We could try to convince him that his brother is being misled by the cardinals, and that he should
Right.
ask to be reassigned, and then him and his men
Or
may
maybe
get
just get him
moved.
to question his brother publicly. Create
What does
some-
that achieve, though, and ultimately in what we're trying to do?
Either way, if we get them to leave, our initial plan is completely moot because they also
Potentially.
take their prisoners.
I'm not risking
not-
that.
I don't want all of them to leave. I just want there to be one less Larkin brother we have to potentially kill.
There
Can't
is
guarantee
the
that.
I can't guarantee shite. It's just an idea.
I think
I
it
think
feels like we're getting too
part of it
convoluted
is that
with this.
we from our source in the city guard, we found out that he is a man of upright character, and therefore, if we can spare him or otherwise get him out of the way,
Or use that character against him. But you have a point. This is not. There might be too much risk involved.
yeah, it's an opportunity with risk that if we could sway him to either leave or not get involved in this conflict, then we will have one
potentially very powerful adversary.
Well, with his brother out of the way, with his brother out of the way, we'd have one upright leader in the army.
Upright my ass.
Potentially.
No. No.
I
We
don't.
can't risk
I
it.
don't think that potentially holds as much weight as you want to put for as you're trying to put forward.
Absolutely not. Like,
All right.
I get it. You guys, you can talk and you can persuade people. You guys are good at that. But no, not with what that could risk.
All right, we get your friend out of the line of fire before we try anything like that. Or if we do, we try and do it in the moment if we see an opportunity. But no.
No. You make sure that he is not there and outside, or I will make sure he's not there before you pull this.
Or any attempts to contact him should not in any way involve mentioning the prisoner.
No contacting before. Again, that could risk them not coming.
Right.
I'm not
okay.
risking that. I will
So
go and try to get him now then.
No, we don't. Last thing we need is you going off half-cocked. Right, we stick with the original plan. Go in.
Okay. Sounds fine with me. You do not contact Akrahn if it's too much of a risk. That's what it sounds like we are agreeing it to be.
Do you think there's any way of... You have experience as well, Gax. Do you think there is any sort of way of achieving what they want without...
To do something like that would be to undo an entire lifetime of propaganda and conditioning that's been put into an individual in about a conversation or two. No, not without a lot of risk.
I agree that, yes, that one conversation is not going to be enough, but just why I thought we would be better to contact him first before, so that he'd be
Even
prepped.
We don't
for,
have enough
for
time.
getting to
We
turn
don't
later.
have we don't have
But
the time or the safety to do
If
that.
we do not, then we'll just hope we can convince him in the moment.
Plus, making this plan more complex than it already is a recipe for us to just trip over our own feet.
Agreed.
And-
There's other ways you can sabotage the troops, but you're right. There runs a risk of us running ourselves in circles.
And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be an ass about this, but
You
I
have
can't
your
risk it.
priority. You want your man out. I get it. Believe me, if there's any one of us that gets it, it's me.
By the way, let's get our boy to go purchase that building, and I'll continue working on the bombs while everyone else does what they do.
It'd be good if we could have some way to get more information, but so much risk involved and so little bloody time.
Unfortunately.
You guys wait. Do any of you have a way of communicating with someone that you can't see? Is there any way of...
I can communicate with someone who can't see me. I could get a telescope and I could see someone from the other side of a telescope, and I could have a whole conversation with someone who has no idea I'm with them. I could be a mile away and have a conversation with them.
That's... What if you can't see them? Is there any way?
I wouldn't have to see them for very long. A glimpse is all I bloody need.
Does a picture work?
No, it has to be in person. Again, I could be a mile away. If there's some kind of spell that could improve my vision. Trust me, I've toyed around with this.
Not even prestidigitation.
I've played with it. I can't do it with an illusion. I could... Oh, what am I saying? He can bloody do it. We can send him a bloody message.
Yes, we could just use sending, but Because we have a
That's
name.
limited.
But that's, very
It's
limited in
it's
how much we can
significantly
say.
limited.
You could try contacting Seraphin.
That we could do.
That's actually a pretty good use of message.
He
We could
might
make
know
sure
something, or
we need to figure out exactly what we want, what information we want him to say, because he might be being watched, and he probably won't have time to say more than one or two things. So, to figure out what it is we want to hear from him. But that's a good plan, Akash. That's a good.
if
Yeah,
you
he
call him Finn, he'll know it's from me.
Again, this is valuable information.
What are we trying to get out of this, though?
Seems like they just want general information. What are you guys exactly looking for?
Well, with him we were trying to get an alley on the inside, but Seraphin is there, so... Oh, he's not
And
as
we could
mobile
get him to
as
say-
Akrahn, but...
Where they're keeping him, and if he's still in good condition. I doubt he'd have much to say about the Larkin brothers, but
Yeah, I don't know.
But-
A prisoner would have too much information.
If we want to try to
I mean, he
rescue
wasn't a
him
prisoner working there
before-
for a decent amount of time, so I don't know. He could have easily.
If we want to get him out
And
before the actual meeting, then that would be the time to plan that.
I don't think that's a good idea.
they're gonna keep him
Yeah.
locked up tight, and I
And if-
get what
and
you were
even
going
if
at,
they
Akash.
slip- Even if they
I
slip a
would
little
have
bit,
to-
then they might just kill him.
I would have to see Seraphin. I'd have to physically see him in order to have that conversation, and I don't think they're gonna let us get that close until the day of the duel.
Yeah. So,
Right.
Could we
I
ask
think we
for?
should-
Could we ask for proof of living? We used to do that in the army if we were doing trade-offs. Prove that the prisoner was still alive before the meeting happened. Because otherwise, it's just an ambush.
They're gonna just send you a finger or something, won't they?
No, we
That
could
can happen.
ask. We could ask them to take him on a walk on the edge of the
But
on the
here's
edge
the
of the
thing. But
perimeter.
here's the thing with that. If we do that, all that does is shows us that he's living, but that also means they'll get a good look on anyone who's trying to.
Not if I'm careful about it. Like I said, I can be a mile away looking at the other end of a telescope.
So could
And if I
everyone else.
Akash, do you have something of Seraphin's? A item, piece of
And-
cloth,
He
note.
thinks, wait a minute. And then he runs off to the room that he's staying in.
Oh, you got something.
swear if it turns out to be bloody underwear.
Listen, in times like this, we do not judge.
Yeah, don't look at my bag.
And El Capitan specifically does not look Yonnan in the eyes when he says that.
Oh, I am counting the ceiling tiles.
Is
at
it
this
cool if
point.
I just make this item up, or do you have something in mind? Because I kind of had
just
an
make it
idea.
up. Just make it up.
Okay.
Yeah, Gax is just gonna look between the two, and then he's just like,
Improv, baby.
Okay. Okay, once he comes back, he brings like you would see like this bundle wrapped in cloth, and then opening it, you'd see like this like a jade-esque looking comb. Would this work? He sometimes put it in his hair.
Very fancy comb, but this is fair. Yes. Here. This might help. And he sets the comb to the side, and then El Capitan reaches into the air, and a little pocket like opens up, and he pulls out this ball that has like a cloud on the inside of it as he sets up a little
Gonna
stand.
do a scrying.
Can you guys just put stuff in random stuff?
I am El Capitan.
He is the captain now.
It's
Yes, I
it's
am.
a gnome thing. It's a gnome thing.
Stuff in
It is. I mean, it's fun. Here, I will. You can watch this through the ball. Pay attention to the ball now, okay?
It's like squirrels.
And as he begins casting Scry, it takes 10 minutes to cast.
Tosh for ADHD, dear God.
I want Autumn. Can you roll me a d20, please?
Yeah.
And we've already done all of our discussions about
Thank you.
what everyone is gonna do, correct?
Mhm.
So while this 10 minutes is going on, Gax, considering this is about at this point it's just magic stuff, he's gonna get up and go continue his work with the bombs.
Beautiful. Sounds good, my man. We will come back to you, I promise, in a second here. That 19, that is Seraphin's insight to resist the scry or not, as he does not. You see a visage, and it's like shadowy around him. It's very specific to just the target of Seraphin in a room with guards at the doors. He is dressed finely. It looks like he's showered. It looks like he's, one, for sure alive, but also they're not mistreating him. Like, they're not, like, torturing him or anything.
Mm. He was their doctor for a while. Makes sense.
Does that work, Yonnan?
Okay, you better.
You need a telescope still?
Don't know where this is gonna work, but I might injure myself. I'm gonna try to telepathically communicate with somebody on the other end of a scry.
Okay, what's
Spend
the
my-
range
Do you
on
need
your
the telescope
telepathic
still? I don't
I think
know.
it's one.
We don't know. We don't know.
It's not
1 mile,
about
I
the
think.
telescope. It's about the it's about the range
Seeing
limit.
them and within the mile.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try and initiate a telepathic conversation with
Can I try to
Seraphin.
like touch
How bad
Yonnan?
do you
I
wanna
don't
do
think
this?
it's gonna help, but I feel like it'll help. So I'm just gonna touch him, like his shoulder, and just stare intently.
Yonnan, how bad do you want to do this?
Uh-oh.
Are you asking if I'm willing to try something stupid?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
All right, give me a intelligence saving throw, please.
Did that touching me count as bardic
Can I give him-
inspiration?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Can it?
Yeah, I'll allow you to. Yeah.
Okay.
Intelligence
Can you-
saving throw.
Can you use inspiration on saving throws?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
It's a D8, right? For 27.
Yonnan, as you extend, you know that this is beyond the 1 mile limit. One.
Oh yeah.
But as you try to push it, you all see blood starting to come out of Yonan's nose, both of his nostrils, and his ears a little bit. As I mean, doesn't really matter because downtime. But you do take 6 points of psychic damage throughout this process.
Only 6. That's
Only 6. You got a 27. I mean, but as you do this, Yonnan, you're flashing in between. You see a moment where you're standing on top of a large tower. You have a book in your left hand. You're casting a spell. You have a blue hat with stars on it on top of your head. There's another timeline where you're fighting a dragon and casting all these different spells of various types. As you go through and cycle through and go through all this, you're able to succeed in developing the connection. Please expound anything at all, as this is how you sort of gain
become
the
a
insight.
weirdo.
That will, yes. So please expound on anything if you wish.
From all of your perspective, you see Yonnan begin talking in a language no creature on this plane of existence knows. And it's actually several languages. He keeps switching to new languages every couple of minutes, and his eyes are just glowing fonts of purple light. and I imagine there's a noise, like that weird screeching sound Yonnan heard when he was messing around with the time box. Yeah, all of you can hear it, including El Capitan. There's this weird otherworldly, like, what you'd imagine the sounds of planets grinding together sounds like.
Mm.
And he might be floating, actually, a little bit right now.
Mm-hmm.
With just like flashlights of purple energy coming out of his eyes.
And the blood coming out.
Yeah.
As you come out of this and drop back to the ground, you know you have set the connection with him.
Oh, that bloody hell! Akash, the next time you suggest I'm not doing enough for you, I'm gonna kick you in the
I lay on
balls.
hands immediately and just try to heal what I can for him.
Oh
You're
boy.
not Akash.
Huh?
Who are you? Yonnan hears in his mind.
Ben, is that bloody you?
Only one man calls me that. You don't sound like him.
I am standing right next to him. He's a right arsehole.
I'm thinking through Yonnan. Can I talk out loud? Can you hear me? Or is it just through you?
It's a mental connection.
Wait, wait, the three-way mental phone call thing through us. Does that work?
No, I did not. I specifically did not set the mental group chat because I wanted to be the only one getting the psychic backlash. But he can hear me now, Akash. Finn can hear you. I mean, no, he can't hear you. He can hear me. So whatever it is you want to say to him.
Is he okay?
Akash wishes to know if you are physically and mentally well.
Yes. And you can see, because the scry is still happening at the same time, so you can see him responding as he sort of like looks up and then realizing the guards are in there, looks back down and goes back to pretending to read whatever he was reading.
God, is that you?
You don't need to speak out loud. I can hear you in
He's
your
not
mind.
speaking out loud. Yeah, he's talking.
Good.
I'm fine. For the most part,
You know why they're detaining you. Have you heard the message about the flame of the basin?
Yes. Because of Akash.
Okay, so you know that Larkin wants a duel with Akash.
Make sure he doesn't take it.
Well,
What's going on, Yonnan?
We're discussing how much he knows. He says he knows that this is about you. And he says, how well do you know Akash? Is there any bloody thing I could say to him that'd make him not rush into danger to protect you?
He sits and thinks for a second. Through the wind to the stars.
He says, through the wind to the stars.
And as improv Autumn, of course, I'd say that's something that you two might have said occasionally under, the starscape of the sky, occasionally at night, cozied up together. That a sign that no matter what happened, you'd find a way back to each other.
Why is he saying that? Why is he saying that? Yonnan?
I think he's
He fights
concerned
Larkin,
for
he
you.
could lose.
He's concerned about your swordsmanship and whether you can take Larkin.
No, Akash is great. Larkin is just
better.
there's something about him, that sword he has.
Aye, the Hell Sword. Yeah, we got to look at it.
Hell sword?
It's a Hell Sword. It's made of metal from the Hells.
I don't think that's going to be an issue. And he kind of puts his hand on Jaskier, or Huskier.
As
I
you
don't.
put your hand on Yaskir, you immediately feel a fiery anger burn up inside you as you want to fight. In a moment, you're able to take your hand off if you wish, but as soon as you touch Yaskir, Yaskir wants.
There won't be a problem with that.
It's almost as if he's feeding off your feelings a little bit.
It's
Nothing ominous about that.
all right. We've got Akash has a fancy sword of his own. We think we might be able to level the playing field. But I want to know if there's anything you can tell us about the Larkin brothers. Anything
are
that could
younger.
help us. What?
The twins are younger.
Well, I know that.
Adonis is calculating and meticulous and thorough.
Have you ever
Adrius.
seen him lose his balance? Have you ever seen him
No,
succumb to emotions?
not even in the face of that mage that came. Silvar. Adonis was the only one who could even kind of stand up to him.
Well, that's bloody unsettling. I relay this to Akash.
The mage
At this
didn't
point,
care,
I'm
though.
kind of
He
just
laughed
like
it
hovering
off.
by Alphadon for comfort, like just kind of like squeezing him.
What was that?
The
Oh, Ada-
mage just laughed it off, though.
Aye, that sounds about right. What about the other two?
Adrius is cruel. He gets carried away in his cruelty. And Akrahn is perceptive. And
How perceptive.
he sees some of these injustices. He sees what's happening. He's not swallowed up in the glory or whatever, like his other brothers.
And what motivates him? Why does he stay?
Saving his family, I think. I don't know.
Who would
He's a good
know?
warrior.
Do they
Could
have
be
anyone
better
they
than
can
Adrius
fight
if
in?
he...
Do they have anyone they can fight in? Any of the brothers?
Akrahn and the other member of their main squad, the
Wizards,
sergeant.
aye.
Him and Halcyon, the wizard, talk sometimes by the campfire. I guess they all grew up. Adonis and Halcyon, the wizard, are the same age from that orphanage. They all grew up together in Roxford. So I don't know if the wizard sees it too. He's a bit lost in things as well, but the only one I've seen Akrahn confide in would be him and me. But even then, not much. He understands secrecy. As for his reasons for staying, it's family. It's all he has left are his two brothers. So I wonder if that might be it. How's Akash?
About as well as you'd expect under the circumstances.
Tell him not to do anything rash.
Oh, believe me, I'm trying my bloody best. It's not easy. He's a headstrong one, that one.
Who are you?
I'm the man half the city's looking for.
Which one?
El Capitan?
Yes! Yes, I am!
Nice to talk to you.
Oh boy. Hmm.
uh,
You see, he's
Is
well,
that-
fed and all that. Like here, like he's not being mistreated. If anything, as far as prisoners go, he's being treated very well. He's not kept in a cell. He's kept in a house, a small house that they have
Like,
taken over, I guess,
Yeah.
and then they have a guards watching him and stuff. But he's
a
obviously
house
being fed well, and
within the area that they've taken over.
which was a part of that message that Larkin's been playing over and over. Basically,
there
Seraphin hasn't
any-
been injured, but
Is there any other information that could be of use to us?
there's troops coming in. But I got word that one of them are planning on bringing in some sort of surprise when the backup troops come. Some sort of aerial unit, probably an airship.
Of course, there's a bloody airship.
They're not traveling with it, though. Like, I don't know if they're managing to teleport it in or what, but that's what I've heard.
Okay, I convey this out loud to everyone.
Do this quickly.
They have an airship.
Okay, that's a problem. That's a big problem, and we'll deal with that. But what? Right. So Adonis Larkin, he's connected to the church. Are there any other? Does he have any church business that he attends to in military camp? Are there other holy people in the camp, or is it just him?
No one of significance. I mean, Adonis commands the peacekeepers. They usually just operate on their own volition.
Anyone besides the peacekeepers? Any adjuncts or assistants or toadies?
No. Adrius wants to be ordained. I've heard him talk about it, but he hasn't proven himself enough yet, or something.
Well, that
And,
might be useful.
Autumn, roll me one more d20, please, with advantage. If you will.
Okay. First one.
Okay. Whoa.
Not great.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Not
not
great.
much else.
4.
I've,
Yikes.
Wait. Can I
Adonis
use my
is
thingy
act-
that lets... Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Isn't...
You want to use the feat, the what's it
Or
called?
resistance.
Rebellion spirit.
Yeah.
I will allow you to use it in this circumstance. I was having you roll for Seraphin, but in this, sure, I'll let you use it.
Oh,
Much better.
Nice.
From a 2 and a 4 to a 19.
Yeah.
Only extremes today.
I overheard Adonis one time mentioning something to his brothers. He wasn't talking positively about our king.
What did he say exactly?
Something about how he found out they were abandoned, their family was betrayed, and there's some animosity that he feels, I guess, between him and the Liston line.
List in line, not necessarily the guy in charge, but the family itself.
Yeah. I didn't hear much, but all I overheard. Akash is not gonna duel Larkin, is he?
No, that would be entirely stupid. We have a much more intelligent plan than that. Just sit tight. We're gonna take care of everything. Just you wait. Or my name isn't El Capitan.
Well,
Give me a deception and a persuasion check.
well. Oh wait. Can't you use Rebel Spirit on this one?
Let me check. I could get a flat.
+5 to
I-
it, yeah.
Well, let's see what we roll. What I roll. Let's see
Well,
what
you
I
have to
roll.
choose
First,
before.
You have to
it's
do it
deception.
before.
Yeah, you have to
All
choose
All
it
right,
before.
I'll do it before. I'll take the +5. So, that becomes 19,
19. Okay.
and the persuasion is a 4. So,
Oh, I thought you were gonna do the persuasion, not the deception, but okay.
Yeah.
You believe
Yeah.
You'll believe your Capitan, but not what you're gonna say from okay.
All right.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Why did you use it on the persuasion?
So your best to keep him alive, please. Will you?
Sure. Not.
So at this point,
I'm
you
gonna
hear a
have to-
knocking through the scry spell. Someone walks in. All right. There's Seraphin. It's dinner time, and time we had a little chat.
Uh-oh.
Who do we see?
As you see Larkin step into the frame. He's barely on the outside because, like, Scry is very focused on just the
Yeah.
person. So
Adonis?
you do see Adonis,
Yeah, they sound like
walk
voices.
in. All 6'5", 250 some pounds of just brick shithouse muscle of him.
I may need to come back in here. That's all I'm saying.
As he steps
You
in,
know, maybe these imperialist guys aren't so bad.
the last thought you hear is, tell him I love him. I can't risk keeping this open. End it now, please.
I'm closing the connection. Ah, bloody! Oh,
What happened?
bloody hell, that hurts. What happened was I tried speaking telepathically through a shortcut between dimensions. Oh, I'm gonna feel that. Larkin was there. I had to cut it off.
You can kind of see him there.
Yeah, cut that off too.
El Capitan cut the scry as well.
Oh, he got the sky as well? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. It's at
Right.
this. It's at this spot. I just wanted to check in. Does anyone need a quick, couple minute break or anything? Are we good to just power this out?
I think I'm good to get through the rest of this. I don't know
Yeah,
about the rest of them.
Same.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Here
Beautiful.
we go.
Coming back to the scene here, then. Yonnan, as you come out of that, obviously, you just mentioned to Akash what was going on. You also have this weird tingling kind of throughout your body as you realize your hand is just touching that old, beat up, shitty, not completely finished spell book of yours.
Right, that. I look over at El Capitan. Right, so about the thing you just didn't see.
Yonnan, I am wanted on several continents for a variety of things. You do not know some of the things I have done. Your secret is safe with me.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. I know that you're
What thing?
exactly. That's what I wanted to hear.
Does
What?
Becca know?
She knows. Well, there's things I'm still finding out that I haven't quite shared, but she knows about bit, and if you'd like a more detailed explanation, I think you've earned enough trust to be entitled to one, but that's when we're a might bit less busy, maybe tonight. I need to get Gax up to speed on that. Anyway,
Quick question. Does it have anything to do with why Prime Minister wished to speak with you in Esbeck at the time?
you remember that job that was too hot for the Shadow Band?
Yes,
About
I
6
remember
months
making
ago?
the decision not to take it and getting a lot of heat from the organization about it, but I thought it was a wise decision.
Oh, it was very wise, because I took the job, and I'm still
You did.
paying for it.
Oh. I understand. If at all possible, I would appreciate it if we can try to avoid situations that put me in a spot where I have to choose between a person I love's family and the organization I've dedicated my life to. You understand this?
I think that would be best for both of us. This was
Good.
some unusual circumstances.
I understand. Let us not speak of this any further.
Oh, absolutely.
Meanwhile, as this has been happening, we will return to it for Akash. Gax and the children bomb makers out in just in like the big area where the shadow band sort of exists. There's these children at picnic tables that have been put together as they're making these tiny little explosive devices that they're going to shove in a barrel. Gax, I need some sort of roll for you.
Okay.
From you. Do you have a pitch of any sorts? You're not proficient, probably.
No.
Are you proficient in any toolkits, or?
I'm proficient in calligrapher's supplies.
Are you proficient in firearms?
We had this discussion before.
Yeah, I can't remember which.
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah, that's
No.
when he bought that gun.
Yeah.
If that is the case, for the bomb making, with the halflings help, because they are, I would say the halfling kids, the spice roots that you guys picked up and added to the street kids, at some point early on they go, the middle girl, Allie Spice Root, sort of starts to speak up, and then Eli, the oldest, goes, I'll say it. Man, you're fucking it up, all right? I don't know what the...
Hey, man, look, I'm
It's like
I don't
15
normally
years old
use this.
telling you that.
I don't normally use explosives with this kind of stuff. It's all new. Just
Listen,
figuring it out.
This is kind of how we do it, all right? And he'll show you. And I'm gonna need you to make I would say,
Dexterity?
I'll give you a sleight of hand, but you have advantage and disadvantage, so it cancels out to normal. Straight dex roll.
Okay, because I am not proficient in sleight of hand, but I do have max dex. So maybe okay, I have my fallback just in case this goes south.
Hold on 1 second, don't roll it yet.
Okay.
Let me just check something. Seawards Port.
You got brewer's tools and you're using barrels.
Well, I don't have proficiency in them.
You don't have proficiency in them?
No, chaos.
You're not
Yeah.
talking to me, so it's okay.
Yeah, chaos just gave the tools to me without giving me the proficiency.
Yeah, sorry. There's many benefits I can give you there. Yep, just make the roll.
Okay.
I was checking if one of the street kids might have a little.
So you know how they're making bombs and stuff, right? And he's not used to using all this, and everyone's like doing their own thing. He's just like, man, doing this kind of shit, it's just a lot of chaos.
Does he say that out loud?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. As you say,
Just like-
doing this is just a lot of chaos. You realize the hat's on your head as the bomb that you're looking at becomes a wormhole tunnel into a starscape.
Oh shit! I forgot. You
Right,
know,
right next to the kids.
My favorite idiot.
yeah, you got me there. You got me there. I'll give you that one. And then I'm just gonna roll it.
Go ahead and roll.
Oh boy, D100.
You could kill these kids.
I can't. No. We got this. 51. Easy. Simple.
I'm opening the document right now. I don't know why. I should have known. Oh.
You know, just a little bit of spice for the end. You know how it is. I'll also make the sleight of hand roll just for posterity's sake. For just to be quick about this.
Sounds good.
22.
Goddamn. I'm opening it up on my PC and my laptop. And
Wait, I have a question. Does Rebel Spirit...
I've got it in here somewhere.
It says I can re-roll any roll after I know the result. Rebel Spirit. Does that include this?
No, because that's not how I
Oh.
meant it. All right.
What do you mean? That's what it says.
I'll fine tune to make it more specific, but no, not that chaos.
I found it.
Roll a d6 for me.
A D6? Oh no. Okay. Can I re-roll this D6?
If you want, sure.
Okay, 6.
This is so fitting.
This is for the deal, right? This is for the deal.
You don't
That
know what
feels
it is.
good. Sounds like a good deal.
Well, it says after learning the outcome, I can re-roll.
Okay. You start laughing uncontrollably.
For 6 minutes.
To the point where I can't. To the point where I just get for 6 minutes. Yeah.
I'll say tables did call it. It is 6 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like hours or anything.
Can I still work while laughing?
No.
Is this like detrimental?
Like fall off your seat, grabbing your tummy, rolling around, laughing. your ass off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I'll
And it
re-roll.
sounds weird because you're a knoll. You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
it's
hyena.
Yeah, that's
Oh, he just.
Go ahead. You can use the rebellious spirit to re-roll. It's fine. We're in downtime zone. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. 4. Okay.
4 minutes. Not a negative detriment to the process that you're in right now, but
Yeah.
if you imagine if you were in combat, that would take you out of combat effectively.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As you just are laughing your ass off, you're able to come back with a 22 on your sleight of hand check.
Yeah, I'm just like I just like. Oh, that guy's a hoot back there, and then I just finish up.
Happy Hikis, the little black dragonborn child, goes, the older gnome man is an idiot.
I'm not a gnome. I'm a gnoll. Thank you very much.
That's what I said. Now a child is gaslighting you.
How dare you?
With a 22, you guys are able to, good amount. Like, you think this is going to be pretty effective. I'm going to write this down, but also if you could note it down in case I forget.
This is enough for
Being
one
recorded.
barrel, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So
Uh,
let me put this in. Damn it!
Yeah.
I wish I could re-roll the chaos.
No, that's not the feel
Barrel
of chaos.
worth of 1 barrel worth of explosives. Yeah, explosives.
This was a good time to
At this
break
point,
into
quick-
laughter.
Quickly, I'm just going to return to Akash with the moments after
Just quick
the
laughter break.
Seraphin call hung up. And is there anything you'd like to say or RP here in this moment? After getting that information, that Seraphin is okay. There's some other shit going on, but he's
He told you to tell me not to do anything rash, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's fine. Totally not
Right.
doing something rash. He's like holding his sword tighter.
Yeah.
No, of course not. This is totally not that.
No, if you don't do anything, you're gonna regret it. This is a moment that defines your life and will end Larkin's. I'm here for you in this endeavor for revenge.
El Capitan, can you do that multiple times? That thing with the ball?
The Scry spill?
Yes.
Check his character sheet quick.
Oh.
Like before we go in, it might be helpful to before everything goes down to just check, make sure he's okay. Or I don't know what Larkin won. I'm just nervous.
No, I can only cast this Scry once.
Once
a day.
like
Damn.
once a day before the big day happens. Can you just check on him to make sure he's okay?
Yes, I can. As long as nothing else pops up, I can check on him. I'm willing to do so every other day, because if something happens, I need. That is highest one I have.
That is very complex.
That's fine. I just before we go out there, and we can't come back from it. I just need to know he's okay.
Absolutely, I can do this. Yes.
Perhaps plan to do it the night before we go out there.
Yeah.
Yes, I can do it.
Did he say anything else, Yonnan?
He said that Adrius, the younger, crazier Larkin brother, he wanted to join the church, and he apparently hasn't proven himself, so that's likely a good way to get under his skin. And said that that Adonis has some kind of bone to pick with the Liston family. Said that Emperor Liston was responsible for harming his family.
Okay.
We could use that some way. Need to get under their skin.
Once
Wait.
Seraphin is secured and in a safe position. After that, yeah.
We do that, but you know, I know someone who might know a bit more about that. There's one person we can ask.
And who's that?
Eowyn.
Perhaps. I don't know how involved she was in her family's affairs.
More so than any of us.
Yes, she would know more than us, but how much more I don't know. But yes, it wouldn't hurt to ask. Is she here in the?
Yeah, she's in the HQ.
So we can have that conversation soon.
Later?
Indeed, later. All had a moment to calm down.
And as you guys take a little bit of time, unless there is anything else from you, we're gonna go into a little bit of board stuff. We're gonna have you all select your units and also do your first round of intrigue, which will be one of you being able to do that. I am right now just trying to find there we go. I just want to show you what the battle map looks like, explain a couple things, and then let you guys pick your troops. And then we'll do the Intrigue, which is where you'll choose to make a test using your organization skills. And see what sort of impact. Things like, doing the illusion of Kyron Greyhawk could be, one of those. Things like poisoning a, water supply, or, anything along
Spreading rumors.
those lines. Yeah, spread rumors, or like trying to recruit people. You also have special domain sort of actions as well.
Mm-hmm.
But this is very raw. Just grabbed a screenshot and uploaded it. But this is what the battle map effectively looks like for a standard battle.
Okay.
In the map, and you'll have troops, right?
Yeah.
So you'll probably want to put like infantry up front. And then your cavalry and aerial units are never in formation, so they're off to the side. And the whole thing is, as long as you have units in your rear, cavalry can't attack units in your center, which is where you might like put your archers or things like that.
I'm leaving this up to you guys because I'm horrible at this stuff.
It's all good. We're gonna figure it out as we go.
We'll leave it to Akash. Whether
I'm gonna leave it to you Civ players. You guys are better at this than I am.
I can give you a little bit of advice here. Like, aerial units can attack anyone. They're pretty special. They're rare, right?
And
cavalry
we're gonna
unit,
be getting one. We're gonna be dealing with one soon.
Dealing with one, yes. Not getting one. You'll have archers, which can attack, anyone. You're also gonna have your individual martial advantages for combat, which we'll go over later. And then you'll have levies, which are like just the people coming to help. The typical tactics would be to leave some levies in the rear to protect your center, which is where you put like your archers. You can put people in reserves, but as soon as there's not a single unit in that reserve line, it basically condenses and crumbles and doesn't exist anymore. So maintaining that space can be valuable. You can also obviously move to the other side, and the way that combat works is as soon as your tier total, which is just adding up the level of your units, all of which the ones that you actually own will be level 1, but some of the other special ones might be potentially higher. Like the scale guard of what's left of them actually acts as a unit. When they were full, they acted as a tier 2 unit just because they're also individually powerful. Since there's only half of them left, they're a tier 1 unit. They'll have some special stuff. Each unit has some special traits and things that we'll go through. Most of yours are just going to be human. For now, if you have other thoughts on that, we might look at other things. But just wanted to kind of explain how that works. Additionally, when you damage units, they'll have a health pool of like 4 to like 8. And when you get them to half health, they make a roll to see if some of their troops like retreat. Which means they would lose another level. When they're deteriorated to 0, they deteriorate unless there's some special abilities, which some of you guys have, like the monk one that we were talking about earlier, Rez. So that's a general overview of how that all works. In the meantime, till next session, I'll send the video link for you guys to just go and watch. It gives a great synopsis.
Okay.
Matt Coville does a great job explaining the book that he made. I promise you, it's extra rules, and that's always a little bit intimidating. We're gonna get through it together. We're gonna make mistakes. That's okay.
We'll learn. We'll learn.
Absolutely. So, to kick us off here, I'm gonna move us over to the org.
Yes. So
Where you'll see on the far right, I've added a copy of the standard military unit for human versions of them. Different races or species have different minor traits for their base units. There are goblin, orc, elf, gnome as well, but it is kind of limited because this is a additional book, so it doesn't have everything. Which means that if there's something that you want down the line, we can custom make it and figure it out.
Cool.
How the combat works when you use a unit, like say you're using the infantry over here, I think it's the 4th one down. You will make a attack roll, which like for this is a +3. If it beats their defense, then you can make a power roll. The attack roll sees if you hit. The power roll tells you if you do damage or not. So there's sort of two portions of that. Morale is like a skill that is used for certain maneuvers you can have for troops. There's a lot going on here. I promise we'll figure it out as we go. But basically, you'll use your attack and power to attack other units. Your defense is like your AC. And then your toughness is the DC for if you lose like basically an equivalent of like a health point for that troop. Every class gives you martial advantages for commanding troops. I don't have them copied on here yet. But, like, for example, I know the wizard one allows you, if you're commanding an artillery unit, it gives you, like a dancing arrows ability, where you, if you hit a unit with it, then the next attack on that unit has advantage, which is cool. And they also have, there's, like, wand things where you can give wands to any unit. Typically, it's better to do it for peasants, and they can do certain spell things depending on class stuff. So there's all that jazz. What is going to happen right now is each of you is going to be able to select one standard unit from these 5. If you think it makes sense to have a unit from a different, race, we can work that out. I'm not going to be able to get it on there right now in this instant, but I can, bring that up. The humans get the adaptable trait, which just gives them, I believe, advantage on RAL checks so that they don't, like, break defense. The orcs, orcish troops have like a savage attack thing. They wouldn't be as available here in Seawards Port, like gnomes or other things might be. So that's kind of the gist of it. In general, for you guys, just to know, the Shadow Band will be providing one good unit of artillery, so like archers, for you guys.
Okay.
For this battle, they won't like stick with you for any further ones after that potentially. But that I just wanted to give you that
They're on
information.
loan from the Shadow Band.
I do have a question. Oh, no, continue actually first.
No, you're good. So how we're going to do this is I'm going to have all of you roll a d20, and then we're going to, in order, allow you just to pick a unit that you guys will have. You don't pick peasants. Those are, you guys will roll to see how many of the peasants, which are the levies, that you get before the battle, because you just get those from the local area.
What if we want to? Because the monks
You will get levies no matter what.
Okay.
That's the thing. Yeah. And you guys can choose, of the levies and of any of the units before the battle, you can choose which ones you guys command. Typically, you'll stay with, the same ones down the line, but...
Oh, well, I'm choosing last. There's a 1.
Alright.
And there's a 19.
Alpidon, 19.
Alright. Let's go with 16.
16. 16 as well for Autumn.
Okay, you two free roll again. Just against each other.
I swear. Okay.
Jeez.
Okay.
Alright, so we will go, Tables will pick first, and then Autumn will pick, and then Cal, and then Rez. So to start us off, Tables, what kind of unit would you like to make sure is recruited for you guys?
Okay.
So we already have aerial, right?
We have
You have one
artillery.
aerial.
One aerial.
Artillery, you don't have aerial.
Okay.
You and with the resources you guys have, you can't recruit an aerial right now. You can choose between infantry, artillery, and cavalry to recruit to start off.
Yeah, okay. I think I'll take artillery.
All right, cool. I'm gonna copy this and just move it down to this other area.
So we have 2 artillery.
Yep. One on loan.
For this battle. Afterwards, you'll only have 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which will bring us to Autumn.
So what options? Explain that one more time.
You can pick between an infantry, a artillery, or a cavalry unit. The cavalry units aren't necessarily on the map. They typically do a bit more damage. You'll see here the top of the sword thing on the left, that's how many attacks they can make. That's 1. And the bottom left, like where the hilt of the sword is on the card, is how much damage they do per thing. And then the top right is the health points for that unit as well.
Okay. I think let's do infantry.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Infantry. 2 artillery and infantry.
Next will bring us to Cal.
I'm thinking. So we have one artillery and one infantry.
Yeah, that we've chosen, and we also have one artillery because of our allies in the Shadow Band. I would say probably choose cavalry. We don't have any cavalry yet.
No, I'm looking at my things that I can do.
Oh, I see.
Martial advantages. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna go with infantry as well.
Where's the martial advantages for? It's in strongholds and followers,
Kingdoms.
right?
No, Kingdoms and Warfare.
I see.
I don't
Kingdoms
got
of
that
Warfare,
book. I have to
page
get it.
123.
Page 123. Like, is that page? Is that book page or PDF page?
PDF page.
123. Okay. Monks. I can.
You get the bonus to levies, and then you get the other
Yeah.
thing where you guys, if they get like broken, they can choose to stay on the field and come up with a little bit of.
Oh, mine also boosts infantry or artillery, actually.
There's gonna be overlapping stuff. But
Yeah.
it's also very valuable to get one cavalry, but Billy also will get to choose one as well. And
Yeah,
just do what you want. We'll figure it out. And if you change your mind by next session, we can work it out. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. I think.
And this is just choosing for the org to have. Before the battle, you get to choose who commands what units as well.
I think I will also get another infantry.
Cool. Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That completes unit selection. The next portion we're going to do for the end of this episode, last thing we're going to do, is the first round of Intrigue, which means you as an organization will get to make a roll with some sort of plan against the enemy organization. Or, using some other things. Like you have abilities like the Call in a Favor, or where is it? Two Arms Fellow Adventurers. That's the one where you can try to recruit the Rat Catchers as a special unit for you guys. You can also do things like, I want to use a diplomacy test to try to get closer to Esbeck or something in hopes that they'll give us another unit or some sort of other benefit. Or I would like to use an espionage to try to send out some spies to fuck up with their communications, or I want to use an operations check to try to mess with their supply lines or things like that. And the way that it works is if you're proficient in a skill that you think would apply to what you're trying to do, you can pitch it to me, and you'll also potentially get to add your proficiency bonus to the organization's modifier. So like for diplomacy, you guys have a 0, espionage is +1, lore is still +1, operations is +3. You can also try to raise your communications resolver resources with one of these checks. Like, we want to try to steal stuff from enemy supply line to increase our resources, and you'll see below the main adventuring party sheet to the left, you'll see the communications levels, the resolve levels, and the resource levels, and what they will do for you.
Okay.
Some of the effects of what they do for you are applicable to the army warfare, and some of the other effects are applicable to the officers' warfare, which will take place after the army battle. If your troops win the army battle, you guys get a very nice benefit during the officer combat, which is traditional combat. That's where you guys as NPCs meet up and fight with Larkin and his brood, whatever. With the roles that we had earlier, if someone has an idea or whatever, that's fine.
I have a few ideas, but I want to see if anyone else have any.
Because what we'll do is you will each get to make one intrigue. at the level of your organization, you get to do 5. The higher level of organization, which you level up after every successful win, you get more things you can do in Intrigue, like actions.
Okay. I have an idea. Because I'm pretty good at perception. I don't know if this would be considered operations. But just generally scoping out the armies of our enemies, like, you know,
Sounds like
taking
espionage.
is it espionage to gather information? Yeah.
I would probably call that more espionage. yeah.
Espionage. I mean, either way, using my perception skill with our espionage score to sort of
So because if you're proficient in perception,
yeah.
then you can add your proficiency modifier to the check, not your whole.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
And then also what the organization's bonus is, where for espionage is +1.
Yeah.
The DCs for this stuff are generally lower.
I would say that is an idea to try and get more of a, you know, just to figure out the ranks and like how they hold themselves and get more information basically over on the enemy.
That is absolutely a feasible thing you guys could. choose
But
to
I
do.
want before we choose anything, Speed, you said you had an idea too.
Well, my idea was to maybe undermine the morale of the troops by spreading information about the aboleth and the armies and the government's complicity in that to convince some of the soldiers to maybe try and desert or at least be disheartened at what they're trying to defend. And maybe
Okay, so
harm their
either way, we're thinking
Both
about
sound like
espionage.
espionage,
Yeah.
It's just a matter of do we want to
One's a positive
imagine-
for us for more information, and the one's negative for them for
You don't know
Resolve.
what their stats are.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can like try to lower stuff.
I
Yeah,
do
so
think lowering their resolve is probably a good shout, just because we have a lot of things that can boost our own resolve, and we have a high resolve to begin with. So lowering theirs is a really good idea.
So
All right.
if you're looking at doing that, look at the resolve thing below the like the orange sheet that you guys have. That'll show you the levels that you can get. For resolve, you all start at 0.
Okay.
You can try to increase it or decrease the enemies. So, and you'll see like at -1 resolve, the speed of each of their officers would decrease by 5 feet during the first round of their combat against you. The officers are like Larkin and his people. That'd be the PvP or
Okay.
the main combat you would have. And then yeah, you'll see some of the other ones, I believe, affect. Yeah, like the resources ones typically affect the units, where resolve affects the officers and things like that. So,
Yeah, I think. What do you guys think? Do we either increase our knowledge of the enemy or decrease the resolve of the enemy?
What would increasing our knowledge of the enemy, would that improve our communications levels?
Yeah, what would that do?
so that would be using either espionage or lore, probably. I could see it increasing your communications. It's also more of like you pitch what you think, you know.
Oh, okay.
which would-
Okay, I
that
see.
could be-
I do think overall, probably because either way, I think my idea would be using our espionage to up our communications, while Speed's is to lower our enemy's resolve. And I think lower resolve is busted broken. I think that's a good shout, personally. What do you guys think?
That sounds good. Alphadon would like to increase our resources. I do not know if that would be.
Are we all getting one roll?
No,
or
we're
is
only
this-
we're only doing one today.
What?
Yeah, what we're
Oh, I
we're
thought
only
we were-
doing one today. So
Oh,
one of you can
one
pick
roll
which one.
total. Okay, I thought it was one each. Never mind.
No, it's gonna be one today, and whoever wants to make it with their idea can make it, and then the next time we do it, someone else will do it.
Okay.
We'll go at the end of every session until like if we get closer to like battle, I might pick it up too. I don't know. You could fight 2 episodes from now.
We'll see.
Or 2
We'll see
sessions
how
from
it
now. I don't know. So we might have to increase it at some point or whatever. But for now, one of you will.
Okay. Sounds good.
goes.
So who
Okay.
wants to go? Does anyone really want to go right now?
They have theirs pretty.
Yeah, I kind of
Developed.
want to go. So.
All right. So, Speed, you want to use which of our...
Espionage to undermine morale.
Okay. Is there a skill you're what's your idea for that? Using like
I'm
shadow
gonna-
band members or someone else to send out to do
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, I'm gonna go out and start like spreading graffiti all over the neighborhoods where the army is encamped, and leave like little pamphlets that the shadow band has printed, just talking about all the crazy shit the Empire is doing.
Oh yeah.
And I'd like to be able to use stealth for that.
Yeah, so because you're proficient in stealth, that will give you get to add your proficiency modifier and the
I'm an
espionage.
expert in stealth. Do I get to add?
You don't get to add it's just if you're proficient in a skill that aligns with what you're trying to do, you can add your proficiency modifier to that. It's not your extra bonuses or anything like that. So you'll be able to
All
roll
right.
and add +1 plus your proficiency, so it'll be +4, I believe.
Okay.
All right. So D20 plus 4.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see it. 9. Ooh.
Yeah, that's not gonna do it.
Well, we don't know because apparently the DCs
DC
are
is
lower.
They have their own DCs set.
Yeah.
The levels that you start at in Intrigue are all 0. With a 9, you send some shadow band members out to... What was your goal again? I'm sorry, to decrease the enemy's resolve?
Morale. Yeah, I mean
Their
there was
Resolve.
Yeah. As you send the shadow band members out, you wait and wait and wait for them to come back, and they don't. It
Yeah.
isn't until later on you see bodies of the shadow band hung up across the square. And I am going to make a check for them. Okay, you guys don't know what that is. But with that, we've started Intrigue with the organization that is the Larkin's army platoon. Well, more than a platoon. But as you guys have begun this endeavor, that is where we're going to sign off and end our session today.
Ooh.
Thank you, everyone, for bearing with us, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy as we get into this warfare domain kind of combat situation in the future. But have a wonderful night, day, whatever, and take care, everyone. Goodbye.
See ya.
Hi.
Adios.
Ciao. Au revoir.
All right. Good session, guys.
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah.